with plant-based.
Get help with expenses, health insurance does.
Okay, check. Okay, audio's picking up now at the very least. Okay, check. Okay, audio's picking up. Okay, I think we got the audio working now, at the very least. So, hello, my name is Kevin Young. I was trying to go through the introduction there just a tad earlier there, but had some technical difficulties there. Still got a few, so just hang on for 1 second. We'll be getting ready shortly here. Just making sure all the audio is good. Sorry about that. Qualifying is about to finish here, and I think we are all good. If you're on the chat now, you can sound on, so we should be good to go here. So anyway, introductions aside, my name is Kevin Young, and I am here always to bring you the action for the A-Squared Midwest Barbecue Cup Series for the Talladega Airtime 250 here at, well, like I said, Talladega 250. So it should be all good. Everything should be adjusted. If you have any problems, again, just let me know in the chat. Again, of course, things go slightly wrong when things are on times. But anyway, qualifying just concluded there. John Hagan got pole position, and now we are into warm-up here. And now we're going to cover the news and the actions of what has happened through the past week of the A-Squared competition. So if you can give me 1 second to get everything pulled up here, we do got a lot of news here to go over, so we'll go over this as quickly as I can in this 5-minute warm-up. For starters, to quickly run over the news here, if I can get to the right tab here. There we go. First of all, we'll go over team names and team drivers. For instance, Next Gen Racing is no more. Josh Garrison has decided to take a step back from his duties of ownership, and he's transferred over to Dustin Painter, and we'll bring up one of the drivers now for the team of Bandit Racing. Here's Richie Catania. We'll bring to him, show him this is one of the drivers for said team. He is now driving instead for Next Gen. It is now Bandit Racing. So the drivers in question that used to be under Next Gen's banner are now under the Bandit Racing banner. And speaking of last week's race winner, Zach Millett, well, he was hired to take over Bandit Racing, replacing, hired into Bandit Racing, presumably as a sub, or at the very least take over full time to see where he is during those points, but he is now in the Bandit Racing fold. Moving further down the line, we do have a few subs as well jumping in here at Talladega tonight. And we got the 65 of Briley Wright, who's filling in for Dustin Painter. Again, that was the car pilot to victory last week by Zach Millett. And Christian Withers filling in again for Christian Withers. My mistake if I said that slightly wrong. I'm finding he's on track right now. He is currently subbing in for, there in the 23 right there, subbing in for Tommy Withers, who is out again this week. So 2 new sub drivers in question for that. But more importantly, since this is a special week, first of all, it is special points favorite sports teams week, so you'll see cars running point schemes, paint schemes based on their favorite sports team and whatnot. But more importantly, besides that, the other more important thing to go over here is it is Bracket Challenge week. The Bracket Challenge has officially kicked off, and here is the bracket. Here's at least a PNG of what you should be looking at right here. We will zoom it in just a second here to show you what it looks like. But right there, that is the Bracket Challenge. It's going to take over the next 5 weeks. Starts off at Talladega, round of 16, to the quarterfinals, to the semis, to the finals, at Dover, Charlotte, Worldwide Techway, New Hampshire. And these drivers will have that to look forward to for his next couple of weeks. We'll take a look at the top half of the bracket here real fast. Let's just give you a zoom in here. You can see John Hagan, he is our points leader right now and has the most points. He had the first C in the lucky draw to be number 1, and he will be taking on, let's put some background image on, Josh Battles in the 32 spot. We'll run down the rest of this bracket here. David Hawk is taking on Josh Gaiman in this first round. Brandon Roberts is taking on Ryan Pinnell. Kenneth Cheney is taking on Michael Lawrence. Lilac Zier taking on Austin Mongold. Seth Wanzing taking on Patrick Oberstadt. Tom Sears taking on Dale Markowski. And Pacey Wygett taking on Ryan Gomes. Now we'll move on to the bottom half of the bracket here real fast, just to show that off. Brandon Proudfoot taking on Richie Catania. Brentford was the second highest seed. David Wright will take on Stefan Oberstadt. Daniel Michelle will take on Ross Baxter. Kevin Feemster will take on Jonathan Adams. Dustin Painter will take on Tommy Withers. Jeremy Brea will take on Brandon Featherplace. Alyssa Pelletier-Sharp in a team battle with Emma Kruger. And Mike LaJoy will take on Mark Delela. That's how the top and the bottom half of the bracket will be situated. Whoever is the surviving driver of the top half and the bottom half will go on to duke it out in the finals in New Hampshire, where they will win a prize. So these next 5 weeks are going to be very entertaining, and you're going to be more importantly wondering, how do you advance in the Bracket Challenge? You probably are wondering right now. Well, keep it brief. You got to finish higher than the driver in question that is around you. So if you are lucky number 1, John Hagan, he has to beat Josh Battles if he wants to advance to the next round. So keep an eye on that throughout tonight's broadcast. We'll see drivers fighting it out. Maybe some teammates will fight it out, and others try to get to the next round, round of 16 in Dover, and keep their bracket challenge alive. So that is what the bracket challenge is looking at like right now. So keep an eye on that, and also you can check out all the socials, A² socials, and the website, and all that, ABN Esports, all that in the bottom of the description here. You'll get an updated bracket. You keep an update when the new update of the results go live. So that is the Bracket Challenge, and now we'll quickly move on. We've still got the time here. We'll go over to the points and how they are currently shaking up right now. Currently leading the way, speaking of, because this was based off the seedings you saw on the left side of the screen. You can see by the seeding, John Hagan currently best in the regular point season standings with 2 wins on the year, with leading the way with Brandon Proudfoot, highest of the best of the rest, but without a win yet. Still looking for his first coveted win. If we take a look as we go over to the A² playoff standings, Hagan, Sharp, Breo, and Kruger, let's spell Sharp, Jeremy Breo, and Emma Kruger, have all won so far this season. They are locked in. Zach Millett is not locked in, as his win is not seen to be counted here at the very least, but that could change depending on a ruling. Brandon Featherplace is the first driver outside looking in at the moment in the A² Playoff Cup Series, along with Brandon, my mistake, I misread that. Brandon Proudfoot is currently first to outside in, currently 5th in the playoff standings. If we take a look at the bubble, David Wright is currently the bubble coming into Talladega, 1 point ahead of David Hawk, and 2 points ahead of Josh Gaiman, 5 ahead of Stefan Oberstadt, and 6 over Brandon Featherplace. So it's very close with the last driver in the bubble. So that looks like the end of warm-up here. We're going to get ready for the results here. It looks like my SDK, it looks like it had a little bit of a crash here, so my mistake. We'll now go over the starting grid here, if we can get that to pull up. So we'll have to hold off on that standing talks here at the very least. So we'll see if we can get this to update here. No, I'm going to have to crash. Yep, I'm going to have to reload SDK here, so just give me again a second. Of course, when it rains, it pours, it seems. So we'll open up line timing again. Refresh. this, so give me just a second here.
Hang on, we're not going green.
So we're going to have to play
Not
it start here, so again,
going
just give me
green.
a second here. Sorry about this, some technical difficulties here. Seems just to plague this here. Let's refresh. Alrighty, there we go. All right, nice and refreshed here. So we should be going at the very least here, so we'll get this quickly up to the starting grid here. So we'll have to run over standing in a second to turn that back off. Again, when it rains, it pours. So we'll go to the front of the qualifying order here if we can. There we go. Perfect. So John Hagen and Pacey Wygent, they will lead us to the start of the grid here, the very least here. Looks like time's a bit screwed up, so we'll have to kind of hold this off here. Donald Ray and Brent Roberts, they will line up row number 2 with Tom Sears, Ryan Gomes, row 3. David Wright, Dale Markowski, they will be row number 4. Zach Millett and Brandon Featherplace will be row 5. Daniel Michelle and Selena Thompson will be the next row. That will be row number 6. Let's move further down here. Give me a second here. There we go. Daniel Michelle, Selena Thompson, next row. Ross Baxter and Riley Wright, that will be row 7. Willie Sharp, Brandon Proudfoot, row number 8. Michael Joy, David Hawk, row 9. Stefan Oberstadt, Richie Catania, row 10. Riley Gomes, Josh Gaiman, row 11. Moving further down, Kevin Feemster, Jerry Braille, row 12. Patrick Oberstadt, Seth Wanting, next row. Kenneth Cheney, Ryan Pinnell, row 14. Jack Mulkey, Brian Rupert will be row 15. Zier and Adams will be row 16. Alfred George, Mark DeLeo will be row 17. Row 18, Tristan Catania and Toby Estes. And row 19, James Kerr and Josh Battles. And then Christian Withers and Austin Longold will be the next row, with Michael Lawrence being the last car on the grid. So that is how they're going to line up here tonight. Make sure we got this all showing up here at the very least. Yes, we do. So we'll move this over to laps so we can see that right. There we go. And now we should be ready to go here, as we got one more lap of extended action here at the very least. So you can see the field here getting ready and all bunched up in their goodness. We'll get to John Hagen here, who will be our pole sitter. You can see him on the front row right there, leading the way and leading the charge. So Talladega is a very interesting track at the very least. We've got the bracket challenge that currently plagues on the field. To kind of finish up the standings real fast here, we've got one more lap of pacing. I was kind of cut off with SDK not giving me updated time. Just to finish the points here. Battle for the 16 spots, very interesting at the very least, with David Wright currently the last driver in on points, but a lot of drivers can easily bump him out if Wright has a bad day. Go over the Rookie of the Year standings real fast. John Hagen is 33 points ahead of Lilacs here, and John Hagen's 56 points ahead of Los Pelletier Sharps. John Hagen leads the point standings, by default also leads the Rookie of the Year standings. And then formed lastly in the constructors, B-Tron with a good past couple weeks on the back of John Hagen and Jerry Breo, and the team itself lead the way 11 points ahead of last year's constructors winners in Line Power Motorsports, with Carolina Beagle 24 back and Tombstone Motorsports 29 back. Still a lot to play for here, with many weeks to go here, but a lot of things to cover. Bracket challenge, have to keep an eye on that. Not mind the timing and scoring board here. It looks like it's got to be updated here in a second here, with some drivers maybe starting in the back here. As you can see, it's a little screwed up. If it's still acting funky, we will fix it. Right now, just keep in mind John Hagen is our pole sitter, so should fix itself as we go green here. Pace car is going to take the lonesome trip down pit lane. We're going to get ready for the Talladega 250 or the Talladega Airtime 250 shortly here. Pace car is off.
Green
flag is out, and away we go for the Talladega Airtime 250. The Talladega Airtime 250. So as they come off the first lap here, all is fixed up, and it's going to be Casey Wygen leading lap number 1 here. John jumps in front of John Hagen, who's sliding into Don Ray in 3rd position in that number 5 machine. Right now, lines are getting kind of playing here, but since it's not all the way awesome, some stages here. We'll go over that real fast. First stage break is going to be at lap number 20. And then lap number 5. So a little bit of ways away from the end of the first stage. Drivers obviously going to be a little bit cautious here. Obviously, drivers do have one faster pocket if they do need it, but obviously, you don't want that to happen right this early on if they don't need it. So we're going to see how this all plays. We're going to see the way here. Looks like we lead lap number 2 here. You already see a third line getting the front at least a little bit here. So you see it across the line here. We'll actually see who that is on the high side there. We'll get a good look. It's a Liv Moss. Jeremy Breo, if I'm not mistaken, I'll confirm that. It is Jeremy Breo right there. Trying to make that third line work here. This is the second line. Brent Robertson's 84 machine. So his drivers begin to kind of jostle here. Don't really see Talladega compared to Daytona. It's a lot wider, so you can make it work here. But again, you don't want to be a hero on lap 3. Ride. You can see right now getting a little bit racing. And you can also see behind, like I was saying, in sports team tweets. So you can see obviously the 9, Seth Wanza running this scheme. Probably a little bit of a 12 of Ryan Pinnell right behind, running a good old Georgia Bulldog scheme. Probably not the happiest pushing that 9 right now at the moment. But they too are right now. You can also see the 60 of Ross Baxter in the West Virginia scheme. But basis, or less a weekly basis, I should say. This is a week. And it's still Pacey Wygen up front. Not much of a charge. Lanes are just kind of riding right now. Obviously, stage points can matter, especially for some of the drivers on the bubble, or at least not far in right now at the moment. Don't mind, but you don't want to, like I said, don't want to end up wrecking it. You can help it. You can see right there, Breo jumps down right in front of, I think, Breo and Seth Wanza jumping into the middle here, but not a lot of help from behind as Brent Roberts is getting the drift back. And oh, car of the wall, it's Ryan Pinnell going to get hooked there. It's going to be Brandon Proudfoot and a few others involved. Brent back. Rupert also involved here, along with Patrick Overstad. You can also see a lot of good cars involved, and I think there's been a bad bump gone wrong here, from what I saw. Ryan Pinnell already looking a bit torn up here. See if anyone else there. You can see we've got a little bit further back to see any damage. You can see the 80 of Mark DeLayla, dependent ride with a very crunchy front end. Right up the road there, the 8 of Jonathan Adams, the Carolina Hurricanes machine, also with a bit of a crumpled front end. We also saw a few others get pretty torn up there. Not as bad. David Hawk there, also a little bit of damage on the front end. So we'll take a look here, see what happened here, which caused the yellow flag. Obviously, it popped up in the battle box, or whatever this little incident was. But we obviously saw it on the main shot, so we'll go back here. We'll wind just a bit. And obviously, that's the tail end of it, but this is not where it's going to start. It's going to start right up at the front. Pause here. And we're going to go into a nice chopper camera here, just kind of watch on board. And then we'll take the 12 of Ryan Pinnell here, and we'll take it at 4 of speed. Actually, we'll just a little bit back here, pause it, and now we'll play it. And we'll play it at 4 of speed and see exactly what happened. Oh, looks like, oh, bad bump in the corner panel is what I'm seeing here. Rupert's a little bit too high, pushing the back of the 12. Let's see if that's the cause of this. Yep, and that gets a little hook right there. Sends 12 hard into the outside wall. At this point, it causes a checkup. They exit 22, trying to take face action, gets into 28, who gets into the 34. And at this point, becomes a track blocker. Adams gets hard in the back of Gaiman. And then you can see at this point, anyone on that high side had to get on the brakes, and DeLayla obviously nowhere to go for him. Ends up piling in quite nicely. So we'll take another look as well. We'll go back here, and we'll take it from the perspective of Brandon Proudfoot. So actually, we'll rewind just a bit here as well. Right about here, we'll take it from a nice shorter angle here. We'll let it play out here again. You see the bad bump happen right here. Hooks 12 into the wall. At this point, 22 kind of gets loose himself. At this point, a lot of cars are just trying to get on the brakes here to avoid the action, avoid the incident in question. We'll take one more look at this as well. We'll go back here. We'll take a look here. Don't know why the transition graphic isn't working, but hey, when in Rome, we got to do as the Romans. We'll take a look here from the perspective of the 80 machine of Mark DeLayla. We'll ride on board with him here, if I can find the right camera. Yep, we'll ride on board here with the 80. We had a good show here at the very least, so let him play it out here, and we'll see exactly what happens. Just said go where you go. Just, again, this one's on the brakes. Just hoping to get hit from behind, and then you can see the effects of the caution. So back to live action. We are right now. You'll see right here a lot of cars taking incident on pit lane here. You can see a handful of cars on pit lane. It would be helpful if we got a little bit better of an angle of pit lane. There we go. You can see right there, Hawk, Proudfoot, Delayla just leaving pit lane. Bren Roberts came down, even though he didn't have much damage from the incident, but looks like he's coming in for a little bit longer stop too, though. Interesting indeed, and there's Bren Roberts. A lot of these cars obviously don't want to burn the fast period if they don't need to, especially in stage 1. So a lot of these cars just going to kind of take their chances here and fix them up and just maybe sacrifice stage points to keep that fast pair in the back of their pocket. Cut back up to the lead here. There's John Hagan. And that Carolina Tar Heels machine. He got the theme of Sports Week going. And obviously, actually, speaking of, that should signify that, if I'm not mistaken. Seeing who was on the pit list here again, Jonathan Adams, Dale Markowski, and Pacey Wygen. He was leading the way. He pitted on lap 6. Maybe we get a bit off sequence here. He elects to pit. He'll be firing off in 22nd position. So again, with Talladega being a bit of a long track here, these cautions can drag on at least a little bit here, especially with pace laps. So these drivers are going to have to be careful here, make sure they stay in form and stay confident. They don't end up hurting themselves, not hurting themselves, but getting themselves out of focus and end up maybe causing more of a problem than it's worth. A few other cars coming back down for a second stop of service here. Jonathan Adams and Austin Mongol like to come in. And now we're on lap number 8. You see one car going around here. Obviously, no one went a lap down, so we will not have a lucky dog. And that will give us one extra quick lap here as we get bunched up. We'll be going green this time by, with Hagan and Ray taking up row number 1. Sears and Wright will be row number 2. Row 3 will be Jeremy Brao and Zach Millett locking it down number 31. So obviously Millett, probably his win should have counted, but his win is not updated, so he'll have to get a win again if he wants to get locked into the playoffs. Seth Wanting and Daniel Michelle next up in row number 4, and Ross Baxter and Richie Catania will make up the first 5 rows as we're ready to go back green here. Take a quick look. I was having an opportunity to look at the chat here. Someone's saying right now, Briley Wright wins. It's going to give him a big surprise for his birthday. So happy birthday, Briley Wright. It would be a very special birthday if you could pull off a victory here. And obviously, if you're listening to the stream, you got a big surprise coming for you if you end up winning this race. So maybe a bit of motivation for the 8 machine. Well, not the 8 machine, because that's the way he drove last season. Currently in the fill-in role, the 65 machine, currently firing off the 11 right with the Bucky's machine. So Jonathan Adams drives the 8. Briley Wright drove last season, but now the 65. And there's the birthday boy. Hope he can get a win here, at least for that that person in chat standings. But anyway, we're going to go green this time by, so I'll have to hold off the cake and the celebrations. It's going to be Hagan's control here. We see this shake up here. So we're going to take the lonesome trip down pit lane. It's Hagan's control.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. And away we go for restart number 2. caution here. Obviously, it was not really over-aggressiveness that caused that caution. It was more of a situation where these drivers will have to take that in the back of their mind here. Be a bit more cautious at the very least. Maybe not take it too long, but see how it plays. Hagen going to be the pole sitter here, going to lead this lap this time. But actually, it's not going to be a Donald Ray stealing at the death. Spoke too soon. Donald Ray. You can see right there. Look at that move by David Wright going from high to low here. Going to ditch Ray and going to jump on the box. Inside the Tombstone Motorsports driver. Pacing like I said, he's headed the fast car front row. Wanting to maybe get back to the front here, getting some help from the 41. Patrick Olsen. Push. All right, Daniel Michelle, though, going to try to split him. Make the move successfully here. See right there. There they go around side by side here. Look at that, Catania. Oh, no. Michelle in the wall. Repeat of what we saw for the last caution. Michelle going to get spun like a top. And we'll see if anyone else was majorly involved in that incident. But shades of what we saw previously in the first caution here. The 25 going to be stopped here on the line. We'll see as well. We'll see if anyone else was involved here. Looks like everyone else relatively okay. There's Michelle again, just trying to get fired up. There's Brian Rupert. No one else got a major damage here, it looks like, in comparison. Yeah, big one. Daniel Michelle. Take a look. See exactly what happened to the 25 machine there. Second here. It's Ross Baxter. We'll find out in a second here. So we'll take a look here at the replay. We'll go, again, we kind of saw what happened from the wide shot. We'll take it from that's the cockpit, not the camera I'm looking for here. Won't give us much of a scene. There we go. And we'll take it back just a bit here. Again, I feel like maybe been something similar we saw from the last caution, but we'll play it at 4th speed here. Michelle got a bit of a run here, trying to go to the front here, maybe around Donald Ray. Catania going to go high side on that corner panel. There's Wygent, and yep, right on the edge of the corner panel. Bad bump. 00 got into the 24's bumper. They both touched the wall. And then you see Wygent gets another tap, and there, the 65 bucket machine at Bryla right nowhere to go, goes low, almost clips Sears, and there's the incident between Feemster and the 60 Ross Baxter as they end up going wrong. And Sharp piles on in, gives a big lick to her front end as well, spinning the 25 like a top, and we'll let it play at live speed here. Oop, that's not live speed, that's fast speed. But you'll see through fast speed what happened there. We'll take another look here from another perspective here. We'll take it from maybe a little bit, we'll see it from what happened to Ross Baxter here. He's a little bit further back here in comparison. We'll take it from a wide shot here. As you see, minding his own business on the low side. And we'll play at full speed here. On that low side, we'll see the incident smoke pop up here. And you can see right there, just two cars fighting for the real estate. They both end up piling into each other. Luckily, minimal damage. Well, to the end there, they can hook back up, spin up, and luckily no one piled. Alfred George almost gets in, but luckily they don't get any more major incidents for the both of them. We'll take one more look here as well. We'll take it from the perspective of the 18. I do love my in-car shots. So we'll take a look at it from the 18's perspective. If I can find her on this list. There she is. We'll take a look from her perspective here. And we'll let it play live here, so we'll wind just a bit. And we'll play at full speed and just show you the ride she had and the incident she had from this. Big puff of smoke, big incident trying to go high. She avoids it. That was Brandon Featherplace. But yeah, so Brandon Featherplace avoids it well nicely. Oh, maybe. But anyway, yeah, that is the incident from Brandon Featherplace's perspective. And now we'll go back to live action. Again, when it rains, it pours. But anyway, so back to the front here. Obviously, top three obviously got a bit shaked up here. You can obviously see pit road being a little bit crowded place. There's Richie Catania. He came in. Dale Markowski. Brandon Proudfoot came in to fix up some more damage. Pit road. There's Pacey Wygent, who came in first time to get off sequence, now having to fix the car. So sometimes you got to be in the front to avoid the incidences. So you can see right there, obviously, it's risk reward. And I was talking with Wygent a little bit before last week off camera, and it was kind of worth noting at the very least his perspective. Like, knows that he's good at super speedways, maybe not as much next gen, but at the very least, he's not the. Sometimes unlucky is the best way to describe it. Like season so far. But that double zero has pace. Get it fixed up the way he would fly. Still on pit lane, there's Ross Baxter. There's Austin Mongold representing the Tampa Bay Rays. He's a Red Sox fan. At least not a Yankee scheme at the very least. There's Danny Michelle, obviously still forever on pit lane here. That thing is pretty torn. Wondering if he may have burned his fast pair or not. So here he is. And there's Sharp as well. Obviously, we saw her kind of T-bone Michelle. So that is how it looks up at the moment. So back to the front here as well. Make sure everything is still working here. Because, again, when it rains, it pours in STK. It's always a bit of a problem. So everything should be running. If there are any problems, please let me know in the Twitch chat. We'll get it fixed right away, as obviously I can only see what I can see. So thank you for if you can report that. It would be great if you can. But anyway, one update as well. Cheeseburger Lawrence in the chat as well. Speaking of the chat, so do keep an eye on it here. Cheeseburger Lawrence, obviously, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, having a bit of a computer issue. Computer ended up dying and couldn't make it back. So Cheeseburger Lawrence will be the first car that retired, giving us 40 cars still running, but all 40 cars still running at the moment. Up here, help I ran over. Keeping on, because obviously, with being a very special weekend here in the sports world and across a lot of other things on, attention could be always a little bit flex. So obviously, using those extra monitors to the advantage. I wish I had a few more. But Ray and Wright will be in the front row here. Hagen's to Wright and Bray will be row 3. Patrick Oakstad and Zach Bill will be row 4. Selena Thompson and Seth Wands will be row 5. As we're on the mad dash to the end of stage 1, which we end on lap number 20. Obviously, Donald Ray, a driver that ran a bit last season, had the speed, never could find his way into victory lane. Well, trying to get that win. David Wright was not the last one in restricted places, the one at Daytona, which was the cutoff race last season. He already had a win for, so he could find his way around this plate races. Really, no one in this top 10 you can count on, and obviously Beatron's very strong indeed. So, a lot of strong cars and strong drivers here for this race to conclude. So pace car going to take the lonesome trip down pit lane. Race control here.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. Here we go. Got a bit more conservative and a bit more conservative here. Donald Ray, though, coming in the way with Hagen and Braille, though, 2-3, and that's a bit of a trouble for Donald Ray. Nobody loves to play those plate races. They're quite strong working together. So keeping them nose to tail. We saw it Daytona. We saw Hagen and Braille work together throughout most of it. So, yeah, we do not want to let them link up and take the front, because it may be a bad day for the rest of the field. That happens. Look at that! Braille goes high right! And that is incident number 3. Braille gets airtime, and the whole field deja vu for a third time in that same spot. Bunch of cars involved. Ryan Pinnell looks like he got a piece of it. Then to the 41, Patrick Overstand. Brett Crawford can sneak down through the outside there. And just again, another caution. I'm just going through quick angles here to see who is where. A lot of cars slowing up here. There's Bren Roberts. Riley Wright down here. He got a bit of a wild ride. Danny Michelle as well. Just a big airtime lick throughout most of this field here. You can see Dale Markowski a bit torn up here. Trying to find Braille on this list here. You can find him real fast. Just want to see what he currently looks like at the moment. Because I didn't see him here. There he is. Yeah, there he is. Look at that. Yeah, that thing is smoking. front end all torn off. Engine definitely not going to probably make it back to pit lane here. Yeah, wheel torn. Still should have a fast repair, but you hate to see that this early on, having the burn to fix that thing up. But let's take a look at what happened here again. The third time here. Again, that spot has been very tricky. It's caught 3 drivers out here. Looks like it's caught 3 drivers. It's caught more than 3 drivers, but it's the third caution night in that same section. But this one was a bit different. So I'm sorry, a lot of incidents happened there. So I'm trying to find it right on my battle box. There we go. We'll cut up the field here. Obviously, it happened with Jerry Breo right here. We'll go with Breo and Wright. So we'll go again as the eye-seeing eye from the sky. Not that high. There we go. We'll wind it out. We'll watch it again. The question is, really, did Breo make a quick lunge to cover off Wright, or did Wright go or lay, like, did Breo make an aggressive block there, or was Wright not ready, really in the opportunity to make the move? Maybe they were both trying to go high here and it didn't work. So we'll play at a 4-speed. Right there, you can see gets a run here, going a bit high, well clear. Breo going high. Yep, Breo tried to cover it off. Wright happened to be there. Maybe he was trying to get up, couldn't get it to work. It hits that wall hard. Gets right in the Sears. There's Wanzing. There's the 10 of Selena Thompson. The 31 of Zach Millett gets hooked around the other direction. And then you can see it becomes a bit of a car park here, as now cars trying to take evasive action to get around. And actually, we'll go from a second shot here just to see it. And you can see there's the 65 of Briley Wright gets into Ryan Gomes. And then you can see right there, nowhere to go for that 33 car, Dale Markowski in the Buckeyes machine. And then Ryan Pinnell obviously goes up the racing surface well. Now we'll play it at full speed here just to see the rest. We can see cars on the smoke and everything going up. It's the big one, at the very least. A lot of good cars end up taking some damage there. We'll take it again here. We'll actually now ride on board here. Not ride on board, but we'll follow along here with the 42 with David Wright. If I can find him here. A lot of cars here, again, in this field. Very packed field, which you love to see, but we'll take it from this angle here, and we'll let it play out here again. Comes up the road, they can put together. At that point, he just sends him down. You can see right there, right wheel torn off. I'm going to send that 42, sending him fast here. There's the 76 of Kenneth Cheney just getting slowed up there. We'll take one more look here as well. Actually, may take 2 here. I want to see it from the 22's perspective, because he ended up making it through relatively okay. If we can find him here. There he is. We'll just rewind up here. You can see right here, it'll avoid the smoke. Relatively on the brakes here. Maybe not the best angle, but we'll take a look here from him, and then we'll check one more angle here as well. We'll take it from the cockpit here. Show it off, and we'll play it at full speed here. You can see right there, well behind this incident. Smoke off that. It's not the brakes. I thought he was really more involved than I thought he was. You can see up the road here. Just nowhere to go. These cars take evasive action, go around. And actually, we'll take one more look at this incident as well. We'll take it from, trying to find a good angle here. We'll follow from Tom Sears here, so we'll go back here and watch Tom Sears. Actually, we'll do it from Patrick Oberstadt, because he looks like he had an incident here instead. A little bit further back, obviously in the big part of the pack here. So we'll take it from a very higher shot here, and we'll play it out at the time. Right there again, it's just cars going high, going low, no really to go, and at this point cars just piling in. Actually, one more angle. Just going to do this one more time. I know, focusing maybe a bit too much on this, but I'm just thinking of angles here. We'll do one more from the cockpit cam from Dale Markowski, as he ended up piling in big time here. So one more quick look at this, and we'll go back to smoke, quick action. Markowski trying to find a lane, and there we go. It's a piling in. All right, so now we'll go back to live action. You see Breo obviously leaving pit lane here. Now a fresh machine at the very least, but very torn up. And now we actually got bunched up, so we got the one to go here. So we'll run over where everyone is at the moment. We'll do a quick little field setter here. So Hagen and Ray in row number 1. And actually, we're going to have a one-lap dash to the cash here. I think, or maybe the stage ended, because we're at 17. Here the stage ends at 20 here, so we should have a one-lap dash to the finish here. But everyone did come in at 17, though, so maybe the stage did end. So at the very least, though, it's going to be Hagen, Ray, Thompson, Hawk, LaJoy, Cheney, Featherplace, Mulkey, Adams, Kerr, your top 10. Of everyone pretty much just came to pit lane, whether Walton's picks up the cars or takes service here. Few ended up taking through only Hagen, Ray, and Thompson did. More importantly, looking further down the field here, all 39 cars still running at the moment. No cars behind the wall. Definitely a lot of cars on their last life if they're not careful. But going to be on Hagen's control here. See how this all goes. Again, that corner, again, you usually see that right out the trial of a spot can be a bit aggressive. Not really usually a spot, you see a lot of incidents pile up there. You see it out or in between corners, but that spot has been a very bit tricky here for these drivers. See how it all plays. Okay, so we're going to take the lonesome trip down the pit lane here to see if this is a one-lap shootout for the stage or not. I believe it's not, but since the stage does end on lap 20, you see it'll be a one-lap shootout. We'll call it as it is, so we'll assume it's a one-lap shootout, but if not, we'll see it going. So green flag is out, Hagen's control, Hagen is away, and away we go. Second, because it is the end of the stage here. I don't think it is, but see flag here. To the trial now. Will it be the end of the stage? It will not be the end of the stage. The last stage didn't end under the previous caution. We are still racing to the next stage right here. Can't really hear race in my earpiece, so there's Hagen goes high here. This is we're trying to avoid a bit of chaos here. Stage 2 will end. Lap 45. Dash to the second stage here. There's the Hagen way back here. And on the low side, getting help from Jonathan Adams. We have another quick caution here. Let's see who it is. Pop the smoke, David Michelle. Cars on the brake. There's Brodie Wright cutting through the grass here. Let's see if it's slow. Unless that was the end of the stage. Right, did go off track here. I'm not seeing worth noting. At this point, I'm a bit confused myself. So, take a look here what happened with Brodie Wright, just in case he was the cause of the incident here. Play it off track. Yeah, oh, that's definitely going to be the reason the caution there, maybe. So we'll rewind back here just a bit. Lilac Zier. Yeah, okay, so there was an incident. You can see the puff of smoke. So, again, why did it not pop up in my information? Oh, yeah, that's definitely a cause of the caution. So, and Pacey, Wygen involved. It was Delayla, Wygen, and Zier all involved here. So, again, go to our trusty camera in the sky. We'll go for the chopper camera here. We'll play it at half speed. We'll play it at full speed. Now we'll go half speed. You can see a bit of a run here. Ooh, that was the live button. So, again, when at range, it pours. So, we'll go back here again. We'll go back here to Mark Delayla. We'll watch this incident again here. You can obviously see the piece happening just up the road here. And now we'll get the Lilac Zier's perspective. And now we'll play it from the eye in the sky and play it at half speed. Right here, and we'll play at half speed. Wygen and Delayla kind of split, and Delayla comes up just a bit right into Zier, and then Zier gets right into Wygen, and at that point it becomes a bit of a track. Everyone else gets involved here. Not making horrible damage, but definitely a concern here. We'll take a look at Delayla. Actually, we'll go back here again, and we'll take a look at Delayla, if I can find him on my list here of names. We'll rewind here. That's Pacey Wygen. We'll rewind here just a bit. We'll pause. Ooh, a little bit further back. We'll take it from right about here. Mark Delayla right here. And then we'll go to a nice closer camera here just to kind of get a perspective here again. for a wind out. We'll play it one more time here. DeLeo just kind of comes up, so you have to be there. Luckily, they didn't really. So back to live action. Really interesting situation to say the very least. Very chaotic start to this race. It's promoted Selena Thompson to the race lead, as I'm well, she already had the race lead after passing John Hagan. But Thompson, she will enjoy feather plays and domes and she top 5. And again, this is kind of interesting because as we use this caution to kind of go over it, remember, the bracket challenge is also today, and drivers kind of had thoughts about who's going to win, who's going to be in a certain situation, who's going to be better odds to win, etc., etc. And overall, it's very interesting to say the least because right now at the moment, this is kind of chaotic because Selena Thompson, she's making this year, she's not in full time. So Selena Thompson just playing with house money. Right now, Michael Joy is fighting, currently second, is fighting Mark DeLeo, who's involved in the last incident, but DeLeo now sits in 6th position. Brandon Featherplace, at the moment, is battling Jeremy Breo. We always saw what happened to Breo there, so that was going to be a tough battle. Could still be a tough battle as Breo is currently still running at the moment. At the moment, he is still 1 down, though, after coming in under the last caution. By the way, lap came back for Lily Peltier. Sharp, I think she's now on the lead lap. There's David Sharp coming out the pit lane as well. Just doing a quick head count here. We have 8 cars on the lead lap with Breo and Sharp, the only ones 1 down. Actually, Sharp is on the lead lap, so just Breo being the only one down at the moment. But we'll still another stage. Easy change. Quickly going to run over the last few spots here. Gomes as well. Ryan Gomes in a battle. Pacey Wygen. Right now with Gomes having a bit of a, it's not Pacey, Wygen having a bit of a poor run here. It's definitely helping out Ryan Gomes here at the moment. Obviously, not even halfway yet. It's easily change. Lastly, Kenneth Cheney grab on the last car in 5th position here. And Mike Richie's Lawrence. That's obviously automatic advancement as Mike Lawrence couldn't take the flag. So as long as Kenneth Cheney started this race and completed a lap, which he has, he will advance to the next round. So he has the easiest road ahead as he doesn't have the easy question. So anyway, we'll have the 1 to go here. We're going to get going back green here again. Selena Thompson, Mike Jordan, road number 1. Featherplace Gomes, road 2. Kenneth Cheney and Patrick Oberstadt for Carolina Beagle. They'll be road 3 teammates indeed. Mark DeLeo, the independent driver. Jack Mulkey, Carolina Beagles. Next row. And Baxter. And Tristan Tanya will be the next. So that will be the first 5 rows here. Butch, that is Ryan Pinnell with Baxter in that next row. So my mistake on that one. But anyway, very interesting top 4 here at the very least. See how this plays. Oh, quick correction for the record. Riley Gomes is battling for Emma Kruger's spot, so that's Kruger and Sharp fighting. Ryan Gomes is the 55, so my mistakes all the Gomeses. But just a quick correct the record for those listening in. Riley Gomes is fighting for Emma Kruger against Isabel Sharp. Ryan Gomes is in another battle as well. A little bit of a correction to right, but he's going to pull off after Gomes. Correction of the action later. Correction on the record. Selena Thompson's going to take the green flag here as we're going to start lap number 25.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out, and away we go. Back to shuffling in and out of the deck of cards. That's a better angle. Wanting to help Tobias charge. Now the question is, what the inside lanes in here? As Riley goes, that oval machine not really getting the charge here. Clear up. Falling back a bit here. This car's getting gonna bully his way through there. Not the most conventional. Maybe kind of Josh battles himself. Look at that bad bump. Hey, the lights have to Sear. Obviously, we're Sears. Gonna split the middle. Oh, we got a bit of an into the back. 75, 60. And then there's Browns all in the back here. There's Ross Baxter. There's the 55 Brian Gomes. There's Stefan Oberstadt. That's Patrick Oberstadt. My mistake. Look at that. 61 stop. Richie Catania, Kevin Feemster, all involved here in this incident here. There's Dale Marquez. He ends up getting involved. He's just a bit piece here. Car looks relatively okay. And then obviously there's sharp in trying to avoid this. Markowski stop. Patrick Oberstadt gets going. Christian Withers with the car. I saw that involved in the piece as well. Going here. So we'll take a look here. See what happens. That was kind of a smell. Kind of happened. So right here, Josh game. He was obviously one of the cars involved here. And you already see a bit happening. We'll again go to our friendly chopper cam at these plate tracks. It's always a good angle to see We're winding a little bit further back here, and I think it's just two cars fighting over the same real estate, or two hobos fighting over a ham sandwich, or two dogs fighting over a 10-ounce steak. Pick the analogy you like. We'll play it at 4th speed here. 22.75.61, almost 4 wide here. This is probably right on the inside, and oh yeah, two cars fighting for the same real estate. Right, Proudfoot comes down a bit, Kerr comes up, they get stuck together, they bounce, then they get kind of in the game and they retouch. At this point, they get hooked together. Gaiman comes off the wall to the hitting it, gets ping-ponged off. At this point, they all go high, and now we'll play it at high speed here from another angle, just to show you. At this point, it becomes a bit of a track blocker. Proudfoot, 75. Brian Rupert, nowhere to go for him. That's another incident he's been involved in. Ross Baxter gets a good lick there, too. And we'll play it now at full speed. As well. We'll take another look here as well. Follow along this time with... Gonna find a good car. Kevin Feemster, I think, has a good perspective here. So let it play. Actually, I was gonna say Kevin Feemster, but I'm feeling Brian Rupert instead. So let Brian Rupert a little bit further back. Obviously, you're gonna see this incident play out here. Yeah, from this angle works. So you can see it playing out here. Obviously, gonna happen just up the road here. Some smoke, and then Rupert nowhere to go, piles in, and then leaves across back. So it's kind of this one like the tabletop here for him. Well, other than that, though, the front end clip tore off. Then worse, but obviously gonna be a lot of damage to fix up. And we'll take one more perspective. We'll ride on board here with actually Kevin Feemster here. We'll let it take it from his what he saw through his own eyes here. So let Kevin Feemster show us his perspective here as we play it live. Gets the Black Acid Racing, and yeah, that's how Feemster ends up getting involved in this instance. So back to live action. Obviously, Crypt Road being a bit of a crowded place. Even though here's Cash Bears and we're getting a lot of damage. But, oh, that camera doesn't really give us a good angle. There we go. Jerry Braille back on pit lane again. Brian Rupert obviously saw the front end clip get torn off that machine. He has some damage. Josh Gaiman, there he is. I was second. He's been involved in just looking to try to get the bad luck to stop. Brandon Proudfoot, he's having a rough day too. Second incident involved in as well, but car looks relatively okay, but obviously long damage clock, Sharp as well, and Daniel Michel just trying to get that thing fixed up the best he can. But, as you can see, Sharp leaving the pit lane. But, we'll come back up to the lead pack here. Seth Wanzing was able to take the lead under the last caution, and he will lead us to green here this time. Well, not this time but when we go back racing, he will be the lead car. Roberts, former Sunday Monday Racing / now technically team is now known as Tombstone Racing. Tombstone Motorsports teammates. They'll be 1-2 here. Obviously now both at different addresses. Seth Wanzing obviously still team owner Tombstone, while Presidential Racing's Brent Roberts is now speaking of Presidential Racing. Presidential Racing. So we will get the one to go presumably this time by. We have 39 cars on the lap at the moment. Jerry Braille's 2 down. Would have been getting one of his laps back because he's lucky to get it. Rupert and Michelle still on pit lane, but they would both beat the allegations here. Not the allegations, but both beat the... my blade break there. Sorry. They both will beat the pace car. That's the word I'm looking for. Michelle will get out. Rupert, that thing's there. I guess I was trying to go for they'll both beat the allegations of being slow, as they both were being heavily damaged. They'll both get out, but obviously Brian Rupert not living up to those expectations. Heavily true. But anyway, got the one to go. Wanzing will lead the way. And Roberts is outside. Then be Toby Estes and Alex in the second row. Hagen and Adams, row 3. Millett, Mulkey, row 4. Battles and Sears, row 5. Speaking of that 8 car, actually not big, the 19 car, biggest mover of the race right now, 3 spots. He qualified. Other big moves like Seth Wanzing up 25, Sear and Adams both up 27, Jack Mulkey up 21, Josh Battles up 28. That's why I said Battles at first, but we had a bit of a higher number. Other than that, though, obviously some of the biggest losers, obviously Dale Mikowski up 25, Mason White up 24, Dave Michelle up 26. So this year, but obviously still running. That car's still going the right direction. Still have a chance here for some drivers. If you can just survive, maybe enough to advance the bracket challenge and maybe get enough points, that could be crucial when we
time of the season. 38 cars. Brian Rupert actually did not beat the lap down challenge. Actually, a lap down. So it gives Rupert and Correa. With Rupert being 1 down, Correa with 2 down. For an incident, favorably battle. Actually, Rupert as he's down unless he goes another down before we hit the end of the stage. Remember, for those at home, just reminding again, just in case you did not tune in, the stage ends at 45, so we intend to go for the stage. So a lot of things to play out here. But anyway. Go green here.
Green flag, green flag.
Control. Green flag is out. Away we go. Yes, this left half the table here, hung and dry. He's going to get some help here from Zach Millet. Also going to get some help from the Travis as well. Car's taking a base action. Again, this is the risk we see in late in the race. Some cars have some good damage and they've got a little less horsepower. Super high. Others want to get some stage points here. So you're seeing the chaos happening here. One car should be split here. Are going to go clear. Millet now going to go low. Not going to stay a long time. So Josh Battles now going to link up here. Look at that chaos on the low side. Low, high. These people big moves to take the pace of action here. Make things right there. Obviously, we're watching this middle pack action. Nothing's changed from time to time. First line here. see right now, S is going to drop right back. So, don't want to win here, check the clock. Cars are making moves here. Hagen going to jump with Adams. They're going to split Roberts here. They're going to send him to the high side here. And that's going to put Hagen to the point with Adams in tow. Mulkey now going to take the low side. So Roberts is going to expand the triover. That's why you got to be careful here. They're obviously not going for a major. Obviously, we come 3 wide there. Just look further back. Battles. Just outside the top 10. Rage on. So as we rage on here to the finish, it's going to be Hagen taking charge here with Adams next in tow. Can Hagen, I should say, hang on here? Can Adams maybe send a move here, get around? Look at Seth Wansing really trying to maybe make a third line work here. We'll see what he can do. Look at that move to the low side. Richie Catania going to throw into the low block here. Going to take the middle lane. Try to make something happen. We're seeing the tensions get picked up here. Catania with Wygen behind. This a little bit further back. Seth Wansing that's just inside the top 10, or just around the top 10, as they fight for stage points. But as we'll cut back towards the top here, Roberts and Mulkey have the charge. Able to get back around to Hagen. Do they have enough? Are they going to get far enough back here, or is this going to be too little too late? But are they going to get too far ahead here? They've taken the white flag in the stage. Roberts, Mulkey, first lane. Hagen, Hagen gets hooked by Adams. He keeps it pointing the right direction, but that car is pretty turned. No one else piles in, but it's going to take them both out of contention for stage points here. It's just another bad bump. We'll take a look at that when we get to the end of the stage here. But still raging on towards the front here. Roberts, Mulkey, 1-2 at the moment. Zier, Millet, Thompson, Catania, all that in the second groove. They're not going to get enough momentum here, presumably to chase it down. It's going to be Roberts and Mulkey as they head for home. Richie Catania gets a bad bump. He'll keep it safe, though, as we're going to come to the end of the trial here to end stage number 2. Battle for the line. Can Mulkey get clear here? Will he get any assistance as they come across the line? Thompson going to try to steal it to death, and she will. Thompson will get ahead. Caught the 2 cars that got just a little bit napping, a little bit too far away at the end. Thompson able to sneak it at the death and will get the stage win here with Mulkey second. Wansing will get third. Roberts will get fourth. Actually, we'll have to see that cycle through in a second here. We'll see how it cycles. But Thompson will win the stage. Great move by Thompson. Mulkey actually will get second. Wansing actually will get third. Roberts fourth. Wright fifth. Sears sixth. Riley Gomes 7th, Lilacs here 8th, Zach Millett 9th, actually 10th with Mark Leyland 9th. And that's how stage 2 will end. Selena Thompson again. Big move there to make that work. So, we will get ready here for action. Make sure everything's picking up accordingly here. Obviously, again, technical difficulties can always plague this. Jack Mulkey is going to come in. Most of the field, though, going to stay out here. Obviously, maybe Mulkey may have ran out of fuel, possibly, as we did get close to the stage. Pit lane, I don't think open as yet. No one else coming in. Obviously, most of the cars we see on action here came in at laps. Slopston came in at 17. Wanza came in at 22. Roberts 23. So, if Mulkey did push it out of fuel, it's going to have to go to the back here. So, I don't think pit lane is open. So anyway, as this should rage on here. Still dealing with mic issues here, so just give me 2 seconds here. Going to try to change some audio levels here, so just give me 2 seconds here to fix something. We'll adjust some audio levels here, try to make something happen here, see if everything picks up accordingly. If not, it still sounds kind of low, so just trying to make something work here. It's
turn that down. So, yeah, as cars will pit here now. Again, just testing some audio here. Just trying to test some audio here. Again, thank you for tuning in here for ABN2. Sorry for, again, some of the technical difficulties we had here tonight, as it has been an interesting evening at the very least in the audio realm of world. So, but Roberts going to lead the front here with Wright, Sears. Basically, pit road is going to be a very crowded place here as cars will now come on in. No one's staying out here for the most part. Everyone will be serving in. We'll see who wins the race off pit lane. So, yeah. Okay, so again, thank you for everyone in the chat letting me know about the technical difficulty problems. Hopefully this third stage can get us. I was calling my heart out there as Selena Thompson ended up winning stage number 2. Again, any problems do arise, please let me know, as just things have always when it rains, it pours. But anyway, we have some interesting development here as we've seen actually play out here. James Kerr electing to stay out. He will inherit the lead. Seth Wansing will win the race off pit lane here, as he will take second position here, with Pacey Wygett 3rd, Zach Millett 4th, Bren Roberts 5th. Again, a lot of cars elected to take 4 tires there for the most part there. Fill it up. Zach Millett electing, I think, to take 2. The rest, Pacey Wygett and Seth Wansing electing to roll the dice, maybe take fuel only. So, differing strategies here to make this work. Yep, Selena Thompson brings in the chat right there. Got the stage win, but ran it out of fuel. So, that's why she'll be starting a little bit further back here. Obviously, had to come down service here, longer pit stop because of it. Looks like something happened to Jerry Breo here. So he's jumped the pits here, and looks like he may have just called it a day. So we'll take a look here, see what happened. He was running fine. Just want to see, is it kind of odd for him to pop out there? Obviously, he was 2 down at the moment here, and it just looks like he may have just wanted to call it a day here. So Breo just going to pull up on the wall here. I'm going to call it a day. We'll go right back to live action. There's nothing really to report there. So Breo is going to be done. And that is how the stage is going to handle here. So we're going to get the 1 to go here. Going to be all good to go. So it's going to be Kerr and Wansing, row 1, Wygett, Millett, row 2, Wright, Roberts, row 3, Sears, Zier, row 4, Gomes, DeLayla, row 5. That'll be the first 5 rows. More importantly, we'll have 39 cars still running. Actually, it looks like Catania is still in pit lane. Pinnell will get out, so 38 cars still running. Tristan Catania looks like he came down for service. We'll actually have 39. 39 cars still running. Only 2 retirements so far, with Breo just retiring and Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence not taking the green flag due to computer problems. So that will shake up the bracket interesting. So we can confirm at least 2 things, at the very least. With the bracket challenge as being today, it will confirm that Kenneth Chaney will advance to the next round, the round of 16 Dover, regardless of the finish. And secondly, that will promote Brandon Featherplace. We assumed it was going to be a very heavy battle between Breo and Featherplace. But at the end of the day, with Breo's retirement, Brandon Featherplace will promote on to the round of 16 in the bracket challenge and will not have to worry the rest of the race. Now he just can kind of go out there and get the win or do whatever. But bracket challenge will play out. Good point in the chat there. Seth Wansing's had a great rebound as well. Thank you for pointing that out in the chat as well. Obviously, Seth Wansing has gone from the back to the front. A lot of drivers have gone back to the front. Pacey Wygett was involved in a couple incidences up in 3rd as well. Lilac Zier was involved in an incident a couple laps ago inside the top 10. So David Wright was involved in Breo, which caused Breo's day to kind of go from bad to worse. He's currently sitting in P6. So a lot of cars having bounce backs here, able to kind of use that fast spirit and use the second chance they were given to get towards the front. Even James Kerr as well, current race leader, taking an alt strategy here for track position. See if it will work. So Kerr, Wansing, front row, Kerr's control, as we are going to get ready for the final stage and the mad dash to the finish. We'll see how it all plays. Green flag is out, and away we go. already. You can see Donald Ray maybe jumping out of line here just a bit. Cars already beginning to get very racy indeed as they'll go high side, low side, high side, trying to make things happen here. Obviously, a pit stop looms for the drivers in this stage. You could probably make it about, using what we saw from Selena Thompson's case, you can probably make it about 24 laps before it runs out of tank. 25 laps, we'll say, on estimation. Could be a few more, could be a few less. Obviously, his caution's kind of factored into those laps, too. So, maybe about, we'll say, 20 laps before pit stop looms, and they'll take their final one, maybe 25. So, obviously, a ways away before we see those final pit stops occur. But up to the front, James Kerr still holding strong. But we'll have to pit a bit earlier if a caution does not fly, as he, again, last came in at lap 35 for service. So Kerr, Wygant, pushing ahead. Wygant going to try to go high side here with the help, trying to get some help from Wanza here, maybe to get pushed towards the front. And we know Wygant's got a fast car here, so he will lead this lap. Remember, it was on the outside of the front row here when this race started. Wygant, Kerr, Wygant, Wanzing, high line there with Millet, low line, Kerr, right, Sears. And this is where you obviously see a car a bit slow there on the track, on the road. That's Richie Catani, if I'm not mistaken. It's one. The Catani is there. I saw the 48 machine. It's Tristan, my mistake. Richie's in the 24. Tristan's in the 48. And Tristan is under danger here going a lap down as he has not caught the pack. But this is what I'm talking about. This is the crucial stop here because this is where it gets interesting. If we go long green, if we have a green flag pit stop here and we go green to the finish, this is where, if you're a driver right now a little bit further back in the pack here, we'll kind of focus on the battle here, but I'm going to focus on a car a little bit maybe in the back there. Briley Wright, birthday boy Briley Wright, for example. Austin Mongold, Jonathan Adams, Jack Mulkey. Just going to kind of go through some cars in the back here for a second. If you're right now in the back, you kind of have to slowly have in the back of your head a mindset that you have to be like, all right, this lap, this lap, this lap, this lap, this lap, I have to get up further, 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 and further. Because by the time the green flag pit stops happen, usually you'll see separation, drivers get away, and eventually it's going to be maybe a 9-10 pack run to the finish, and you want to be in that 9-10 pack run. So you want to get yourself closer and closer and closer and closer to the front in order to ensure you'll get a victory here if you want to get that victory. Right there, Catania going to hold the low side here, not going to come up to the surface here. We'll go one down. We'll be the first car actually one down. Actually, Ryan Pinnell will be the first one down. Catania is now 3 down. So Ryan Pinnell 1 down, everyone else on the lead lap, but there is some risk. Looks like Brian Rupert and Daniel Michelle both off the pack as well. Could be seeing them relatively shortly here. But up towards the front, we'll focus on the back in a minute here. Now we'll go back to the front. Obviously, we've not really left the angle here. James Kerr leads the way with David Wright giving him a nice old shove on the outside line. Middle groove is Wygant and Estes, and the high line is Wanzing, who got a little bit shaky there with a bump. Still a bit shaky here as he's getting pushed by Zach Millet. So no drivers really teammates, as now the outside line really losing momentum here. Third pack falling down. Could see Zier come up here. Wanzing going to jump below instead, and they're going to kind of merge the third high lane with the middle lane and going to make that now the high lane. As you can see, Wygant and Estes going to get well clear here with Roberts now in third. It's getting a bit racy there in the second line there. As see Wanzing, Kerr, they fight on here. Look at that move right there. You see Zach Millet jumps to the low side here. Again, cars kind of making their bet here. Again, still early. There's Toby Estes. We're going to cut back to the front here for a second. Estes going to try to make a move here, but the problem is he's got no help here. So maybe it was more of just a get-out-of-line situation, but that's going to catch right up in the Zier and the Penguins machine. As there's Cannacini going to go low side. Now that's the risk. Estes maybe thought about doing something. Maybe didn't know he got the help. Maybe he wanted to get back. Who knows? And now he's going to fall back into the danger pack here, as now he's in the middle groove. Now with Kenneth Cheney, he'll have to push. Gives him a nice little shove there as they are battling on. Obviously, Wygant and Roberts, they're clear of this little pack here. Focus on this battle really for the second groove here at the moment. Obviously, they're going to catch him. They're going to drift ahead here. So the risk of them falling too far back isn't high. few more lap cars up on the road. You can see I was talking about Rupert and I was talking about Michelle. They're a good chance of getting caught here sooner rather than later. There's Rupert going to go very low here, not want to get any more enemies, even though I don't think he has any enemies here today, but don't want to cause any enemies here, especially being a lap down car. Now the momentum's starting to catch back up here. Pacey Wise was able to get around Brandon Roberts, so they swatched 1-2 here. And there's 76 of Kenneth Cheney. Driver's been quite strong this season so far. Hasn't found a win yet. Obviously, Roberts and Cheney are not good friends after Sonoma last week. Definitely aggressive drive by Cheney. Was not making Roberts too thrilled. Obviously, no love lost between the two of them. But right now, again, S is going to get the charge. Going to make the high line work. Looking to try to get clear Wygen. Zier and Ray pushing clear here. Again, right now, a lot of these drivers in this top 10, none of them have a win yet this season. So getting a win here for some would be crucial for the playoffs. Others, maybe running a part-time schedule, just looking for the win for the pride factor. So again, a lot of drivers could turn their season around or make sure they don't have to worry the next couple weeks if they can take a victory. Look at that on the outside line a little bit further back. Hagen got a bad checkup there. Cutting back here. That's going to be Hagen. Saw some incidents there a little bit further back. We'll see if we can get to him. There he is, along with Selena Thompson will be involved, and that will be the next caution. I saw a stack up on that high side. You could see the incident occur, and that's going to cause another incident for Hagen and Thompson. Thompson with a little shove there, maybe not accidental there. Just trying to get it going. Hagen is going to come down pit lane as well. That's going to be interesting to note because Brian Rupert, actually, I think Ryan Pinnell will get his lap back. We'll see how it's scored here in a second. But we'll take a look here to see what happened as we saw kind of a stack up happen there, a checkup on the high side. Obviously, that's the point of mistake. So we'll cut a little bit further back here because I saw, yeah, right there. That's what I saw right there. Big checkup on the line between Gaiman and a few other, Gaiman, Thompson, and Hagen. We'll go not from the cockpit. Be helpful if I learn to read. The chopper is what we're going to look for here, and we'll play it at 4. We'll play it at 4 speed here as we follow. Let me find Selena Thompson. We'll follow John Hagen. It seems the checkup happens right around him as he's currently sitting behind Proudfoot. So we'll play it at 4 speed. Gets a good run there. Hagen gets in the Proudfoot. That slows him up enough that now Gaiman gets in, and that upsets the line here. Thompson, and you can see this, the accordion effect playing on here. Hagen gets loose. Gaiman gets loose. Thompson gets loose. And we thought they had it saved. But then, I guess Hagen gets a little loose here. Oh, wait a minute. Withers and Sharp get into it, but Hagen's still fighting it, though. It's still very loose. Yeah, still struggling, and then it cooks right, and Thompson, not really knowing that was happening, ended up getting a bit of a factor there, and ends up piling in. Now we'll play at full speed, and yeah, they both get stuck together. We'll take it from one more perspective here as well. We'll go back to the coin of the caution here. We'll then rewind a bit. We'll take it from Selena Thompson's perspective here, as she was in kind of a checkup here as well. We'll ride on board here with the 10 machine, if I can find her on my drop-down menu. There she is. We will ride on board here. We'll go to the cockpit, and we'll see what she saw, the Stage 2 winner saw, from her perspective here. There's the bump, and Hagen still trying to save it, getting the speed wobbles, and just couldn't save it. And Thompson ended up taking a bad lick. Yeah, that's not good for either driver. I saw Hagen get in trouble there at the end of Stage 2. Bad bump put him hard on the wall. Now Thompson, Stage 2 winner. Obviously, yeah, just unintentional bump there, but definitely a bit of a struggle. So back to the live action. We'll cut back to live action here. Obviously, some cars, David Wright will take the lead here. A lot of cars coming down for service here. Pacey Wygant, first car, obviously was leading the way. He pits along the rest of the field here. 4 cars electing to stay out here. David Wright, Jack Monkey, Mark DeLayla, and Riley Gomes. Ryan Gomes is a little bit further back. Riley Gomes filling in for Emma Kruger, and Gear Cats will take the next spot. So those 4 electing to stay out here. So it's interesting because I assume if you could make it to the end, you would have pitted. But these cars here obviously coming in for fuel only, not tires, electing to top off here. Maybe they can get another caution. They can hit that magical number, or at the very least, take less fuel because we know Wright, Mulkey, DeLayla, and Gomes will have to pit sooner rather than later. Because I'm assuming it's about 20, 25 lap delta here. We'll have to pit maybe around 70-ish, 75, maybe 80. While the rest of this pack here could maybe push it to mid-80s and maybe make it to the finish line. So we'll have to see how this all plays. Obviously, if more cautions happen, this could make the strategy work different, but we'll see how it all goes. But Wright going to have control as they come back here for the green flag next time by. So we are going green this time by, we'll do a quick look at where everyone is. Wright and Mulkey will be row number 1. Delayla and Riley Gomes will be row 2. Wygant, Cheney, row 3. Roberts, LaJoy, row 4. And Zach Millett and Toby Estes will make the first 5 rows here. So as we get ready to go green here again, it's going to be on Wright's control. Again, Wright kind of run over what the field is. Wright, Mulkey, Delayla, Gomes did not pit into the last caution. Rest of the field all came in. Some obviously for damage pair like Hagan and Thompson, but the rest coming in for fuel only for the most part. First car to pit for 4 tires under that stop. And really the only one was Austin Mongold. So we'll see how it all plays. We'll see the differing strategies work out. But I don't think, if my math is correct, I think we'll have to see another stop for the rest of this field here. But I've been proven wrong in the past. We'll see if that holds now. So Wright going to be on control here. Green flag is out, and away we go. Moves already happening here. Delayla going to jump into the middle section. Look at that move high-low right there. Inside line going to shake up. Mulkey going to keep the charge with Gomes. See, Mulkey leads the way. Remember, Mulkey's been pretty strong in the plate races. Got 4th last season at Daytona. Is always a threat at these plate races here to get a good charge. And right now, leading in that number 27 machine. Outside line, though, getting a charge. Brandon Roberts. Definitely a driver hungry for a win. Definitely a playoff threat if he can make it to the playoffs. Is getting some help from Mike LaJoy. Bit of an underdog here. Could be a sneaky fast driver if he was able to make it into the playoffs as well with a win. Could also maybe point his way in as well. They'll get well clear at the moment, so it looks like you can kind of, in these next-gen cars, push clear, but there's pushing and there's staying ahead. They'll keep that high line working. And now the question is, what we'll see the rest of the charge here. Outside line going to get a charge here with the outside move here. Seth Wansing and Toby Estes, they're going to charge towards the point here. Estes is going to lead this lap. Wansing, Delayla, 1, 2, 3 on the high side with Zier right behind in tow. Inside line, though, now losing some momentum. Oh, car in the back in an incident. Patrick Oberstadt and Josh Gaiman. That will be the incident in question that will bring out the caution. Josh Gaiman obviously a bit smoky right now, and Patrick Oberstadt obviously pretty torn up as well. As you see, the front end pretty much ripped off the clip. So we'll see what happened here real fast. Obviously, it looked pretty straightforward. Maybe something similar to what we saw previously, but we'll take a look here. The tone of the caution here. Obviously, that's already what happened, so we'll take a little bit further back here. Alrighty, okay. So we'll take a pause here. We'll go into our trusty chopper camera. Give us an eye in the sky that only few can see. And we'll play it at 4th speed. Obviously, look at that run differential. Patrick goes up, maybe try to block it, get a run. Not fully committed. Gaiman's right there. Looks like they get a little bit of a touch there. Sends them a little bit loosey-goosey. Net code maybe as well. Sends the 41 into the outside wall. 61 obviously gets trapped. And at that point, nowhere to go. And they both get stuck here. And the bad luck continues for the 61 to Josh Gaiman, who's just looking to try to get something pointed in the right direction here.
So we'll go back to live action. Not really much else to really see in that incident. We kind of saw it from the main perspective. Game in on pit lane. How about if I actually showed the pit lane? Not that angle. That angle. Oh, wait. Hold up. There we go. There's Patrick. There's Game in. Can't get the far shot there. I wonder if he's on the track at the moment. Yeah, his clock's not ticking up. So if they don't like Patrick Oberstein and Josh Gaiman, they may have called it a day here. As there's John Hagan, Ryan Pinnell, Kevin Feemster, Daniel Michelle, Josh Gaiman. Yeah, Gaiman has, I think, retired the car here, as it looks like it is curtains for him along with Patrick Oberstadt. But his damage clock's still going for Patrick Oberstadt, so we'll see if it, actually, I think he may be done too. So both cars may be done for the day here, as we do see pit lane being a bit of a crowded place, though, as most of the field elected to come in here. Not all the cars, though. Seth Wansing, Donald Ray, Davey Hawk, Brandon Proudfoot, Pacey Wygent, and Lily Peltier-Sharp all electing to stay out, while the rest of the field coming on in. Again, very interesting indeed. Now it's going to change strategies up a bit more, because now we have an interesting development. We'll go over that right now. Wansing, Ray, Hawk. We'll actually get a little closer for while I run these names down. Proudfoot, Wygent, Sharp. There you can see Brian Rupert getting one of his blaps back. Now I got the front clip on that car. Selena Thompson, all staying out. Toby S.'s first car to come in, electing to take fuel only. Also, Christian Withers stayed out, but since he was a little bit further back, he will not jump any car as well. Roberts, the rest of the field, all actually a few other cars stayed out too. Ryan Gomes, Kevin Feemster, but they were far enough back they couldn't get caught up. But Estes, Roberts, and the rest of the field all coming in for fuel only. So it makes the strategies even more interesting now. And we'll see how this all plays. Looking at the chat right now, we can obviously see someone rooting for Seth Wansing. Obviously, a few Seth Wansing fans in the chat. We obviously know someone's voting for Briley Wright. We got a few for Selena Thompson. Obviously, I think that is Selena Thompson in the chat right there. So, yeah, a lot of drivers. Again, if you're watching right now, watching live, we'll kind of go over the introductions again if you can. Obviously, we know we've had a bit of a technical difficulty stream here. Audio's been a bit on and off, but you are hearing me live right now. Thank you for tuning in to ABN2 for the Talladega Airtime 250 for the A-Squared Cup Series. Midwest Barbecue A-Squared Cup Series. Should say the full title there. I am Kevin Young, always here as always. Obviously, streams are a lot bit more technical difficulty based, but we'll get to the finish here. Race ends obviously at 94. Both stages have now completed. We're at 65 at 94 with Seth Wansing leading the way. The Midwest Barbecue man leading the way with Donald Ray in tow. Seth Wansing, a driver needing kind of a good finish here. He's had some good weeks. Currently 15th in the playoff standings. 15 ahead of David Wright. Getting a win here would make it so he doesn't have to worry about the next whatever weeks. Even if he has bad runs, he can make sure he wins. But obviously he's still a long ways away. Donald Ray, another driver here, running as an independent. Not run the full season, so probably unlikely at winning here just for the pride of winning. David Hawk will kind of run over some implications here. David Hawk currently first driver out, 1 point behind David Wright. So a win for him would also ease the stress of the next couple weeks. And Proudfoot will finish with a fourth car there, currently sitting in highest of the non-winners. So a win here would kind of help him out and give him not much threat, but being 83 above the line, not much he really has to worry about going forward. Obviously, unless he has a mad collapse. So anyway, we're going to go on here. Wansing, Ray, Hawk, Proudfoot, White, Wygent, Sharp, Thompson, Estes, Withers, Roberts, your top 10. So we'll see how this all plays. So anyway, as Wansing will have control here,
Again, being a bit of a special night throughout the world here. Kind of got my eyes on a second monitor here. So, sorry for a bit of the silence at the very least, but just kind of keeping an eye on my second monitor, keeping an eye on, obviously, the audio levels, keeping an eye on a lot of things here. But we're going to go green right now, so let's bring the energy. Seth Wansing going to lead us to the green flag. Green flag is out, and away we go. Cars jostling position here right now. Top four all got clear here at the moment. Top five, I should say, Selena Thompson caught onto that track. Sorry, Elizabeth Sharp, my mistake. Selena Thompson's in the second row. Sharp there got caught up. Now you can see the second line starting to get caught up here. So it's kind of interesting to see at the moment. Maybe some cars are playing a bit of possum, but at the very least, it's worth noting that cars can get a bit of a run here and really make a charge happen. So, got to make sure, keep that in mind with a green-white checkered. If you can get a good enough shove and a push, you may be able to get yourself just clear enough to make something happen. But obviously, you don't want too much of a run because look what's happened right now. Wansing and Ray, for instance, have been caught by the rest of the field, and now there's a risk of them getting swallowed whole here. As we come across here, Wansing still leads the way in that LSU machine. Sharp's had a bit of a blink here. Hoping she can get that connection part sorted here at the very least. As it's Wansing, Hawk, and Proudfoot 1, 2, 3. To hit lap 69. Should be more importantly worth noting, you can see a second pack there, about 6, 7 cars deep. Again, some of the wounded cars currently still running right now. I think it's currently that line's led by Ross Baxter. That's the second group right now. They're about, kind of checking the numbers here real fast here, about 2 seconds back, 2.5 seconds back of the race leader, maybe 3. So there is that risk right now at the moment that obviously they think there may be another caution or they really don't have the speed to make it forward. Look at that though, DeLayla gets in the right. As I saw that kind of happening there, they keep it pointing in the right direction. Wrong shot there. Car's going to take a face of action here. No one is going to really get involved. Mike LaJoy, though, going to get a piece there. But we saw Sharp and Wright kind of get into each other just a bit. But we stayed green, but obviously Wright going to have a bit of damage there. And obviously Sharp, though, still going to be up towards the front. As we'll cut back, speaking to the front, we'll head back to the front. As right now, as we were kind of watching that, basically Wygent has gotten ahead with Selena Thompson and Kenneth Cheney. So Wansing going to fall back just a bit here as they make the charge happen here. So right now, Wygent, Ray, side by side. Thompson trying to push Wygent clear. Estes looking to push Ray a bit clear here. Wygent looking maybe to go low here. Going to stay high here. Obviously, it's a bit of a risk situation. That low line has been a bit of a struggle bus at the very least. When it's on, but the risk is that the momentum seems to really lose that low side. Kind of want to be on the high side, especially late in race, but the shorter way around is the quickest. So there is that risk-reward situation. It's now under 25 to go. Obviously, I still think a pit stop could loom for these drivers here, but we'll have to wait and see. I think we may be okay. But since it's a mixed bag of strategies, some on 58, some on 64, it makes, last came on 58 for fuel, some came on 64 for fuel, it makes you think, what's the fuel question mark on some of these drivers? What do you think the strategies are? Can they make it? We'll have to only wait and see and find out as this race continues on, as we play onward here. So as we play to go, 23 to go. We'll see how this all plays here. Will these drivers play nice? What can either driver do here? And the next question is, again, if like I was saying earlier, if you're a driver further back right now, there's that risk. What do you do to make a move here? What can you do to get towards the front? Obviously, you don't want to end up wrecking to get to the front, but at the same point, as the laps tick down, you need to kind of, again, have in the back of your mind a position you have to be in a certain lap. So if you're someone, again, like right now, you have that second pack that's way further back, and we'll cut away from this pack just a second to show that second pack. Right after Riley Gomes and Alfred George, David Wright leads that second train right here with Battles, Markowski, Sears, Baxter, Oberstadt, Hagen. Some of those cars are very wounded, and some of those cars are trying, like, they're further back. What do you do here? Are they playing the long game? Think there's another caution? Or they physically can't get up to speed, and it's just a race of survival to just try to make something happen? Back towards the front, though. If you're in that end pack, like Alfred George, Riley Gomes, you got to have in your mind a lap that, hey, all right, this time I have to be, let's say by 15 to go, I need to be in 15th. 10 to go, maybe 10th. Different drivers have different counters, and they have to know when they need to get towards the front. So 21 laps to go here. Wygant still leading the way. Ray on that low line leads the low side. Estes pushing Estes pushing Ray. Thompson pushing Wygant. They're going to catch a slow car here. I think that's Mark DeLayla, if I'm not mistaken. That is Mark DeLayla, I believe. We'll confirm as it goes by here. He's not actually going to vacate the low side. That could be a bit of a problem here, as they're going to have to go take advantage action. That's going to slow up that low line. Obviously, Donald Ray, Tobias is not going to be too thrilled with that move right there, as there was nowhere for them to go here, as they end up having to stock it right in the line there. And now DeLayla, even though he's kind of checked up the field, there's that positive at the very least, currently trying to stay on the lead lap. If he can get pushed clear, there's that risk. Obviously, Michelle and Rupert could be a threat of catching him, but obviously Ray not going to be too thrilled with that 80 car right now at the moment. 20 to go. Wygant, Thompson, and Cheney now going to get well clear. Question is, will one of them elect to jump down here? Now with DeLayla now leading that low line. Look at that. Brian Roberts going to try to make a third line happen here. Christian Withers going to jump to the middle lane. Kevin Feemster going to ditch the middle lane. Now going to go to the low side. Going to try to get to the front. Remember, Kevin Feemster, driver hungry for a win. He's been consistently top 10. Been oh so close in Atlanta last year. Looking to try to get that win right now on that low side. Trying to get towards the front. But still, it's the Wygant-Thompson show up front. Kenneth Cheney, Jack Mulkey next 4. Look at that. They'll get a little bit scrapey between Feemster and Millett. 3 wide for 6. There's Tobias as he clipped the wall just a bit. Could slow him down here. Not really going to the lowest part of the track they may need. Catania also there, joined the fray. They are 4 wide, and that usually doesn't work well. Withers gets in the Millet. Zier almost that. They're going to keep it clean, more importantly, but definitely looked like it could have been a bit of a problem child, but they all keep pointed in the right direction. No caution will be called, no one wrong way around, but that's going to kill some of the momentum. Up towards the front, it's still top 4, but now there's no low line to speak of. Estes, Roberts there. Cheney going to try to run high-low. Wanzing going to try to get around DeLayla. Third pack deep. They'll get reorganized and they'll get caught back up, but there is that risk that this can't work. Bren Roberts going to try to change lanes here. Mulkey going to go low. Roberts going to help here along with Kevin Feemster. We'll see what can happen here as Mulkey going to take low side here along with the help of Bren Roberts. Third line, Estes and Ray going to try to make something happen with Zach Millett. Wygant leads with 17 to go. They're going to go high here, try to cover off Toby Estes. Kenneth Cheney's right now in the sucker hole. Remember, by the way, we have the bracket challenge still, and drivers are still fighting in the bracket challenge as well. Besides the win and the glory of winning, there's still the bracket challenge that has its own prize at the end of the rainbow. Some of these drivers are fighting their own battles here to try to keep it going. And we'll give you an updated bracket when we get to the finish, or a caution, whichever one comes first. But right now, it's Mulkey and Roberts. They were able to get it clear while we were talking about that bracket challenge, are able to get clear of Pacey Wygent. Wygent and Feemster now fighting for third. And this has been kind of the name of the game we've seen so far. Two cars, kind of like we saw in 2011 NASCAR. Two cars getting lined together, nose to tail, bumper to bumper, and then pushing clear. Look at that. Roberts throws a block on Wygent. Can't make it work, though. 3 wide. Roberts, though, probably going to be in the sucker hole here. Feemster fills the hole he was once in. We'll see if he can find a lane. Ray going to try to team up with them. Former Tombstone teammates. Going to team up here at the very least and see what they can do. But like I was trying to finish my allegory point here, you've seen cars push clear, but I'm going to have to hold that thought again as Wygent going to get help there from Toby Estes. Thompson going to be put in the sucker hole here, and she's going to fall to the back. Right now stuck by Brent Roberts, so again, the risk of getting a bad line, we kind of saw it on the shot there. Thompson was behind Wygent. Estes fell, took the third lane work, and now it's pit lane calamity here. Drivers pitting now, making their final pit stops to the race. You do not want to speed. Feemster got on the brakes aggressively, wanting to. Looks like everyone got it slowed down great. That would have been the better camera angle to use there. Pit stops called late. Can't hear the calls in my ears. So, looks like everyone got relatively okay down the pit lane here. We'll see if anyone gets busted for speeding. Obviously, Feemster got on the brakes late, but it looks like Feemster and Wansing both get clear. Everyone else looks okay, but we'll stay on this wide shot here because pit stops loom. Final pit stops of the race, and this is what I was talking about. If you are not in a comfortable spot, you could be at a risk of losing the last pack here because this pack is not going to stay 20-ish cars deep when they cycle up for another pit stop here. More importantly, that second pack a little bit further back is catching a bit, but it's too little too late. 15 to go. All the cars in this pack here have pitted. Actually, it's still a mixed bag. Estes, Millet, pitted on 64. Wygent, pitted on 58. Zier, Catania, Withers, Mulkey, 64. Withers, 58, along with Sharp. So a lot of these cars on differing strategies here. As we see, Packett's kind of stuck up here just a bit. Cars take evasive action. 3 wide in the back just to kind of show you where perspective is right on the track at the moment. Here's this pack. Seth Wansing and Kevin Feemster line here. They're a little bit further back here currently in the tri-oval. This kind of shows where they are at the moment. They're kind of organized, but not really so. They're going to have to get quickly caught up if they want to make something happen here, or got to hope for a caution. Back to the front pack we go, back to the lead pack. It's Pacey Wygent still leading the way with Lilac Zier pushing in second line here. Wygent hungry for a win. Zier hungry for a win. A lot of drivers hungry for a win. The only one this top 10 that won last week is Zach Millen. I don't think his win counts for the playoffs. So if he is running full-time, he'll have to get another one, I think, to get in the playoffs. But I'll let Control confirm that. But another win would also not hurt his confidence in his ego, getting back-to-back wins, which now a lot of drivers can say they have done in A-squared competition. Estes getting pushed clear here with Millet. They're going to make that high line push here. Catania also there on the high line, the 24. It's a very interesting situation here. What can these drivers do? How can they get pushed clear here? What can they do? No blinks yet for pit stops. There's the other advantage, too, that if caution were to come out, presumably the rest of the field may come down, and in turn it would help the cars in question. Estes, Millet now point to the front of the race lead. Few cars, they are going to catch here. A few lap down cars here. Donald Ray, remember we talked about him. He was up in that pack. He's under threat here of getting put a lap down. Zier, Sharp, they're getting a little bit RG in that second line. Cars making their way to low side. I sense pit stops here. I got a hunch, and we'll see, and I was correct. Pit low going to be a very, very, very busy place. Most of the field pulling off here. No major lockups. Oh, Cheney gets in the Estes there. They both get on the brakes, though, but no major damage, but that could be a risk. No one seems to miss their pit box there. Almost Estes looks like he did, and that's the downside. Yeah, right there, driver did miss his box. I think that's Christian Withers. He'll miss his box, and that's going to put him in a bad, bad way as we'll see him come up. But the race off pit lane, get the right pit lane camera. There we go. You'll see right there, as there's a crowded place at the moment. His cars begin to evacuate pit lane here. All of them will come together in a gaggle. will cut back up to the race lead. Right now it's Mulkey, Zier, George in this top pack, and then you got the second groove that we saw a little bit further back, that second pack that was led by Wright. There in that second line here. Now it's going to be Mulkey pitting along with Zier and Estes and pretty much the rest of the field in this time by. So now the question is, we'll see how this shakes up. Did the Wansing crew that pitted first have enough to make this work? Are they going to be left in dust? Because it looked like they weren't circulated quickly enough to make something happen here. As they all hit pit lane. We'll follow along here with Pacey Wygant. They're in that second train here, and they're gunning it. And we'll quickly check in on Seth Wansing. Yeah, they did not get regrouped in time, and they're a big ways away from what will be the race lead pack of this race here. Estes, Wygant, Cheney, Sharp, Millett, Roberts, Featherplace in this pack right here. Keep an eye on the left side of your screen as you're going to see cars coming on out of pit lane here. 2 cars stayed out, Markowski and Battles, by the way, but this will be for what will be the de facto lead of this race when it all cycles through. Here you can see Daniel Michel, but right now Estes. This is pretty much going to be the lead pack here. The only question is, can some of those cars like Sears get linked up here to maybe catch up and make this an actual race here? In that second pack, you can see a little bit of a nose man land shot. Markowski and Battles are still the race leader, by the way. Here they are. Markowski and Battles, if they can somehow stretch their magical tanks to make it, remember, they last pitted on 65. We'll see what they can do. Again, they're still staying out here. They do got a little help here from the other Catania and Christian Withers at the moment, but they're just trying to maybe hit that magical fuel economy. Trying to hit that number. Trying to hit whatever they need to hit to make it. And you can see the 27 of Mulkey. Looks like he may have got busted for something as he's now leaving the pit lane again. Eight laps to go. Can they make this magical number work for Markowski and Battles? Can they make this magical number work? More importantly, if they do not make it, there's the pack that will take the lead. Estes, Wygant, Cheney, Sharp, Millett, Roberts, Featherplace. They'll be the ones racing for the finish. If their tanks can't hold, we'll stay on this lead pack here for a minute because this is what the race lead is. 27 seconds is the gap, and the thing that helps them is they got assistance with the fuel and the saving with the help from the cars ahead. 7 laps to go. This is going to be interesting. We'll do one more quick cycle here. Markowski Battles, front pack. What if they do pit? If either pits, they will hand the lead over to this pack here, and they're currently battling right now. The next pack, Sears, Hagen, Alfred George, Stefan Oberstadt. They're about 3 back of this pack. They're probably going to need a caution to get in it. And then it's Brandon Proudfoot and the rest of the pack here. Seth Wansing, David Hawk, and the rest. All in this third groove here, trying to make something happen. They're getting a bit too racy, though. But with 7 to go, that may be everyone for themselves in this battle. Back up to the race lead. 6 laps to go. Roughly about 15 miles, because it's about 2.66 mile track. So it's not 2.5 exactly, but just a little over 15 miles. Does Markowski and Battles have enough to make it? We stay focused on them. We're also going to keep an eye on Toby Estes and Wygant's train. If they get racy, this could change who takes the lead. So they have to kind of keep it in line so they don't get caught. But at the same point, there's a risk in the sense that the economy may not be there. And remember, just to kind of keep it in check here for just one more second, as we see them go around, they'll have to pit, so we'll have to not keep that magical thought going. They will pit, and they will relinquish the lead when it's all said and done. Battles, Catania, and Markowski, and obviously Withers pitted under the caution with the group with Toby Estes and the rest. But back to this lead pack. This will take the race lead here when it's all said and done. Estes, Wygant, Cheney, Sharp, Millett, Roberts, and Featherplace. fighting for what will be the race win with 5 laps to go. What do they have in store? How racy will they get? Let's kind of go over the team game situation here at the very least with 5 to go to make something happen. Oh boy, this is interesting. Estes is an independent, if I'm not mistaken. Wygant and Kenneth Cheney are Carolina Beagle drivers. They're teammates. They're in the same chat, presumably. May not have the best, maybe a bit of a love loss. Maybe they're friends, maybe not. But at the very least, they're teammates. They can communicate with each other and make something happen. Lily Sharp is with Gear Cats. Millet is with Bandit. Brent Roberts is Presidential. Feather Place is with Line Power. So excluding the top 7, the only 2 that have connections as teammates and maybe in the same chat are the cars that are 2nd and 3rd right now in the running order. This is going to get interesting because they can work together to dispose of Mr. Toby Estes, but there's that risk. What do? Again, next pack of Sears Hagen, they're 4 back. They're not going to get caught up in time. And let's think of the playoff ramifications for a second here. Kenneth Cheney's in 11th right now in the playoff standings, 29 above the cut line. A win would make him good. Toby Estes, I think, is a part-time runner. He's only run 2 races, but he does have 2 stage wins. If he is running full-time or gets a full-time ride, could be a bit of a threat with this win. And Pacey Wygant, remember, currently, and we have a caution. We'll have to hold those thoughts. Yellow flag has been called. Looks like it was Briley Wright, the incident. We'll see if I can find Briley Wright. And that is not going to be fun for the cars in question. Oh, that's going to sting for the ones that want to make it a battle between themselves. And also, that will trigger green, white, checkered. We'll go over those rules in a second, what those are, but we'll see what exactly caused this caution. And right there, you can see it's the 24 of Catania that ends up being the caution here. I want to find Richie Catania right there. We'll take it from, again, the eye in the sky camera. Already pie in the sky. Good old Simpsons reference for those that know. But we'll see what happened here with Feemster. They were in that 3rd pack, just trying to push hard to maybe make something happen. We'll play it at 4th speed. See what happens. Ross backs behind Kevin Feemster up. Was it a bit of a checkup here? Oh, Black Hawk's machine gets kind of stopped just a bit by pushing Hawk. Yeah, looks like, yeah, that was a bad bump situation or a bad run as Baxter got into the corner panel of Catania. Sends him right into David Wright. And all 3 cars hit that outside wall quite aggressively and sends them sideways. So that will trigger the caution, and that will give us a race restart here. Again, rules of a green-white checker are simple. 3 attempts. They get 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. This will be attempt number 1. Presumably we are going to go green-white checkered. We will obviously be at normal rules with 1 to go when the caution comes out. Stefan Oberstadt going to take a trip down pit lane here, along with David Wright, Richie Catania. Those 2 were involved in the incident. Obviously, Oberstadt, though, a bit of an odd spot to pit here from, but he's electing to pit all the same. So make sure you tighten those belts, get it going, and get it high. This is going to get quite exciting. And let's also look at, again, I know we're talking bracket challenge here, but let's just take a quick look at the bracket challenge here just in a second here to show what the matches are. This is going to be Michael Joy. Go around and get his lap back. That'll put him back on the late lap. Wygant was in a battle with Ryan Gomes coming into today. Right now, looking good to at least get that battle clear. Toby Estes not in the bracket challenge. He did not run full-time. Not in contention, just going for the win here for own pride. Kenneth Cheney, we said, already has an advancement as he was battling Lawrence, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, and with Lawrence not starting this race due to technical problems, that's an automatic advancement, so the checker flag is all he sees. Alyssa Pelletier-Sharp fighting her teammate Emma Kruger, or in this case, the 04 machine of Riley Gomes. Right now looking poised to advance. Zach Millett, not part of the bracket. Brent Roberts in the 84 machine. If I can find him on my list here, he had an 8C. He's taken on Ryan Pinnell, looking poised to advance. We'll go over 2 more. Well, let's just do the rest of the top 10. Brandon Featherplace in a battle with Jeremy Braille, obviously automatically advanced with Braille's retirement. Tom Sears was in a battle with Dale Markowski, with Markowski pitting. Sears right now has poised to take the advantage. And John Hagan, currently in a battle with Joshua Battles. Hagan has the advantage. And Alfred George in a battle with, I can find Alfred George on this list. Hold on just a second. swear I saw him on this list. Actually, I don't even see him on the bracket, so I don't think he qualified as well, so he will not qualify for that. So, yeah, different drivers fighting for different things. But we are going to get the one to go, this time by more than likely. We are going to have 31 cars on the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken. I think David Wright and Richie Catani are still on the lead lap. Obviously, they will lead the pit lane here. Tom Sears has to take service. He will hand off a top 10 here, and he will pit. Interesting, interesting. Tom Sears coming down, taking the lonesome trip. I don't know why TV2 doesn't show you that angle. TV1, he's coming in, and that could put him under threat in the bracket challenge, as he's actually going to fall below the car he's competing with. So it's going to have to be a mad dash to get it back. But to the front, lights out on the pace car. We are going green this time by for attempt number 1 of 3. Let's see how this goes. Estes looking to get a win. Wygant looking to maybe shake off the start of the season blues and get a win. Again, top 10 right now. Only ones with wins so far this season is Jack Millett, who needs another one, and John Hagan, who's our points leader, only driver with multiple. Other than that, the top 10 is loaded with drivers looking for a first win here. Yep, 29 cars on the lead up. Looks like Sears having a long pit stop here. Still on the clock. He will leave eventually now. We'll see if he can get caught up in time. It's going to be up to a Mad Hass for that 14. He'll start P30. A little bit of ways away. Again, this is interesting because you got drivers that are hands off, ready to go here. They'll put foot to the floor if they need to get a victory here. Alrighty. This is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be on Estes' control. What can be done and what will happen here? Green flag is out, and away we go. 2 laps to the finish. If a caution occurs before the leader takes the white flag, we'll re-rack him and do it again. Wygant gets pushed well clear with Sharp in tow. What can Wygant do? Will Wygant stay or will Wygant go? Wygant not ready to come down, still not coming down. Look at Brent Roberts with John Hagan in tow, looking to push high. Wygant going to cover it off. As we stay off 3 and 4 here, still everyone pointing in the right direction. And we have a caution in the back. And we'll have to do it again. Looking to see who it may have been. Not seeing any major names here. Not seeing anyone slow. Oh, maybe it been Mark DeLayla here, as he's got a pretty torn up front end here. But he's still got point in the right direction, but we'll have to re-rack it. So we'll take a look here. See what exactly caused that. I have a hunch it may have been Mark DeLayla. Yep, it's Mark DeLayla and Stefan Oberstadt. So again, maybe 2 drivers fighting for the same piece of real estate here. We'll go, not cockpit. We won't go the cockpit camera. We'll go we'll go the guy in the sky. We'll play it at 4 speed. The 80 of Mark DeLayla is the white and red machine. Stefan Oberstadt, haven't said much about him today. He's in that 3 machine. And looks like 2 drivers fighting for the same piece of real estate. Ooh, DeLayla kind of held his line, though, so yeah, very odd situation indeed. I think Oberstadt camped just a bit. We'll play it at live speed, see if anyone else got piled in. Oh, Austin Mongold. Danny Michelle know where to go. Sears also piles the wall just a bit. And that's how that caution will play out. Back to live action we are. 10th caution of the night. We'll see how this all plays. And as our lovely ABN Esports 2 chairwoman says in the chat there, we have and actually it looks like cars pitting here. I have to hold that thought. Pacey Wygen in the pit lane here. Interesting. He's in the pit lane here. And that, ooh, this is why I wish I could be a fly on the wall and hear exactly what happened. Did he not have the economy? Did he underfuel it? Or is this maybe a pedal he has to serve? Regardless, he is in and he is away. Quick stop and go, though. So if it was a pedal, it would have been a longer hold. So maybe he underfueled the car. That could have been the risk here. But he is now officially out. And he's going to hand the lead off. He's going to give it to Bren Roberts. There's Brian Rupert getting his lap back. So this has just changed everything. By the way, as I was finishing my point, as the chairwoman said nicely in the chat, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us here on ABN2 and ABN1. ABN1 is close to, we're past 11,000 followers, 1,100 followers. We're past 11,000 followers. Carmen would be a very happy woman. But we're past 1,100 followers on ABN1, and let's get to 200 followers here on ABN2. We're so close. We're at 157, so if you like what you're liking, follow it along, as you'll see pretty much the rest of the A squared 2. I can't talk today. A squared cup competition. A lot of that will be happening on ABN2 for the time being until there's a bit of an opening on ABN1. But make sure you're tuning because you'll see a lot of good broadcasts here on ABN2. But we're going to go green. We're going to go green probably next time by. Lights will be 1 to go on the pace car. Again, with Wygant now falling outside the top 20, it's going to be interesting because he was in a battle with Ryan Gomes, and Ryan Gomes is now ahead of him. So let's see how it plays. 30, I'm checking to see how many cars are on the lead lap here too right now. 30, I believe. I think 31. B-Tron's Austin Mongol, I think, is on the lead lap still. Mark DeLayla, they're both coming in again, though. But with the pace car coming up close, this should be okay to get beat out, though. So we'll have, I believe, 32 cars on the lead lap as we are going to get gunned up here for green. Alrighty, it's going to be Robert Sharp, row 1. Remember, Sharp has a victory this season. Roberts does not. Cheney Hagan, row 2. Hagan has 2 wins on the year. I think actually maybe more if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 2 if I'm... Better get that number right before I get a correction. He had 2 wins on the season so far. Kenneth Cheney has none. Estes has no wins on the season. Part-time entry. Only I think it's the second race he's been here. Proudfoot, first driver, highest driver on points without a win. Then you got Millett, who won last week at Texas. Davey Hawk, a driver that's on the cut line, won back, I believe. A win, or at least a good finish, would get him higher up. Ryan Pinnell, driver in the danger zone, along with Brandon Featherplace. Both getting wins could smooth it over. To go for the last couple spots, you got Seth Wanzing in 11th, Alfred George in 12th, Feemster 13th, Rox Baxter 14th, and Selena Thompson, Stage 2 winner, in 15th position. Alrighty, tighten those belts, buckle them up. We are going green this time by. Obviously, we're still half straightaway away. I maybe should have saved that little spiel, that little allegory in the chat. Thank you for ABN Esports 1 for rating in right now. Thank you for tuning in. Obviously, again, everything should be good. You should hear what's going on. This has been a great finish here. Shaping up to be. Can Bren Roberts hang on? Can Alyssa Palty-Sharp challenge and take the win? Can Hagan get a 3rd win? Can Sharp get a 2nd win? Can Millett get a 1st win of the year? Or can Proudfoot technically get a 2nd win because he won the Clash, but get a 1st points paying on win? Rick James TV's thinking it's going to bet on the 12 or the 19. Sound off in the chat who you think's going to win right now. We'll check to see who was right at the end. Pace car going to take the lonesome trip down pit lane. Who is going to be the victor here? Who will survive the chaos? And we do have one more green white check-in attempt to note, so we do have one more if needed. As we're on the second one. Pace car is off. They're in the restart zone. Green flag is out, and away we go. Good run there by the high line by Sharp. She's going to get clear here. Roberts with Hagan in tow. Cheney in third. Outside line's got a lot of momentum. Inside line, nothing really to speak of. And that's showing right now. Cars will probably jump to the high to the low side here, but who will be the first one to blink? Hagan pushing Sharp clear. The risk is if you push too far ahead, you can get caught by the pack. Still all holding strong. No chaos to report there in the back. Sharp, Hagan, well clear. Estes with Millet. Cheney with Roberts. Hagan stacks up just a bit. Trying to maybe play the line. Estes going to get turned sideways. And that will trigger the caution. Trying to find Estes on the battle box. He slides way down. And you'll see some of the impact there. Dale Markowski gets a piece. There's Toby Estes. Whole front clip torn off. Just very hard to catch a car that's spinning down the order quite quickly. Markowski marked the Lalo some more damage. Looks like he's damaged the front end on that piece as well. And that may be curtains for the 19 as he'll join back up in the line. As he'll try to get his spots back, but it looks like he'll have to pit here and fix up the car. We'll take a quick look here if I can find it on the replay system here. Give me 2 seconds here. As we'll take a look, see what exactly happened there. We saw Hagan, I think he tried to back it up into, and we'll take it from, again, the high in the sky camera here. We'll play it at 4 speed. I think Hagan maybe, ooh, this is the last, sorry, this is the wrong caution. My mistake. This is previously here. Be helpful if I found the right one. There we go. Yep, that was the previous caution. So now we'll catch the right caution here. We'll find the 81 of John Hagan here as he will be a good perspective of what happened here. We'll play it at 4th speed. I think he was trying to back it up here and try to get a run here. You can see Estes tries to make a move happen and just gets back in the 81. 81 can't hold the bump, and that sends the 19 down low here. And then you'll see Estes and Cheney. They both get sent low side. We'll now play it at full speed here. Estes, Cheney both hit the wall, and then Cheney then comes up the racing surface and right in the Dale Actually, that's another incident. My mistake. Let's see what happened to Dale Markowski. I thought he came up in the Markowski, but Kenneth Cheney actually doesn't get into much else here. Actually, I'll just rewind real fast to make sure he doesn't get anything, another piece here. Magic of technology. Actually, it looks like he comes up, does hit something, so we'll follow Cheney here real fast. Comes up. Oh, he gets in the David Wright, and he gets in the Austin Mongold and the 75 machine. And that may have caused the second incident. So we'll take one more look here. We'll take it from TV3 here, and we'll take a look here at, if I can find him on my battle box here, Dale Markowski's perspective. Don't know why I gave you the scenic camera for Dale Markowski, but interesting. It looks like it. We'll have to play it with someone else's perspective in mind. Then we'll take it from James Kerr. Then obviously this is the second pack here with Austin Mongold. Not going to see much here until eventually the incident plays up. Then you'll see obviously Cheney's going to come up the racing surface here, right into them, and then yep, there's James Kerr. I still want to see what happened to Markowski, so we're going to rewind here. Markowski's kind of bugging out on the replay camera here, so we're going to kind of go back to Kenneth Cheney here. We're going to get a little closer just to see what happened. There's a 71 of Roberts in that. I think the 33 is well clear here. It's hard to see what happened to Markowski because it's like, yeah, there's the 71 of Battles. Sorry, I just want to see, yeah, he just blinks out here, and yeah, it looks like he got involved in that incident somewhere, and then he blinked out and came down and got in the 71 of Battles. So that's what happened to Markowski as well, and we saw the rest of the pieces. So we're on our final green-white checkered attempt. And this is where it gets interesting because we saw a bit of a shakeup at the front. A lot of cars came down the pit under that last caution. Just seeing who exactly it was. Just give me 2 seconds here. Toby Estes obviously came because he damaged. Ryan Pennell. Lily Pelletier-Sharp had a pit. Kevin Feemster. Briley Wright. Josh Paz. A lot of these cars were well in the incident, but Lily Pelletier-Sharp had to come in. She had the lead, and somewhere we saw the previous incident with Pacey Wygant had to come in. That hands lead over to Zach Millett. It makes you think, are there fuel concerns? Hawk, Proudfoot, Wansing all came in on 79. Millett, Feather Place, Thompson, George all came in on 83. In George's case, came in on 84. Donald Ray on 79. Mulkey on 84. Riley Gomes on 92, along with Stefan Oberstadt. This is going to be interesting. Lights are on the pace car. We're going to go green for the final time here. Next time by. Third attempt at a green-white checkered. So we'll see how this plays. It's going to be Millet and should be Hawk second line car there, but he's playing a bit back. Row number 1. Again, Millet, a win here would make him go back-to-back. Hawk with a win here would, just confirm where he is on the standings real fast. Hawk would be currently 1 point to the bad under David Wright, who's the cut line. Win here would ensure himself he won't have to worry for the rest of the weeks. Proudfoot, next her line along with Seth Wansing. Proudfoot won so far in the clash, still looking for his first regular season win. Seth Wansing, 2-time champion, kind of got to a slow start, looking to get a win here. Thompson, Featherplace, next row. Featherplace, been on a charge here, came back late to the season, or came back a couple races in, could get a win here, would not have to worry about the charge. Selena Thompson on a part-time entry, just looking to get a win. Ray, George, next row. Gomes, Sears, your top 10. So Sears pitting there has actually worked out nicely. He's gone from 30th to 10th under a couple of green-white checkered attempts. We'll see how this plays. Pace car is in. It's going to be on Millet's control. Green flag is out, and away we go. Good restart by Millet. He'll jump up right in front of Hawk. Again, are there concerns of fuel? Can drive. Oh, Thompson gets hooked there. We'll see if we keep it clean. We'll see if we keep it green. Sear, Mulkey, and that will trigger a caution. And I believe that is our third. So that should be the finish. Obviously, I will confirm that real fast here just by check. Obviously, again, with no race, I can't hear the race control in my earpiece. Looks like we will be extended for another one, possibly. Just checking real fast to see if control called that or not. But that, bit like a lead balloon. It is unlimited temp. No, it's not. Okay, so it's not unlimited temp. So we're not racing it back. Caution was called quickly by race control. And it looks like Zach Millet should be on poise to win here. Obviously, the rest of the field, there's Davey Hawk in second, and Proudfoot in third, Wansing in fourth, Featherplace fifth. Assume unless it is unlimited, I'm not seeing that number go down. Bit of a chaotic situation here, as Millet is way ahead of the pack here. Hawk and Proudfoot here in second and third. No sign of the pace car, by the way. I'll kind of be honest right now. I'm not 100% what's going on. I'm just going to be flat. It should have been attempt number 3 because we had the first one, the second one, the third one. Unless I lost count. There's the pace car right now. Unless we are gearing up for another one. Hawk pitting. Proudfoot, a few other cars coming in here. So presumably if we were going, I think we got another attempt here. I must have lost count, or I must have miscounted once. I think we got one more attempt here. So my bad on the count there, unless it was unlimited. So where are we on 3? Because we triggered 1, 2. Regardless, I guess we're going up for one more go at this, I think. Unless they have to take emergency service. It is unlimited. Okay, thank you, Carmen, for filling it. It is unlimited attempts. So, must have been a rule change on the point. So we are racing. My bad on that one. Looks like we had a bit of a mistake there. At least I thought we had the rules from previous years as 3. They've switched to unlimited from this season next. So we're gunning up again. Another attempt. And now it raises the fuel concessions more because handful of cars came in under service. So we'll see how this all plays out here. By the way, at the end of this race, I'm not 100% if we'll get interviews done here because I do have to skedaddle after this. So we'll see if we can get interviews. But if not, we'll get you to the finish. And we'll see the results and all that. But I'm not 100% if we'll get interviews done here. We'll try, but I'll have to see what the clock looks like at the end of this race. This race is pushed well into extra time here. Looks like Sienna Thompson's had the race done, so. This is going to get interesting. We'll run over what the rule looks like right now where everyone is. Let's just go over that real fast while we wait. Millet, Proudfoot, Riley Gomes, Alfred George, Tom Sears, your top 5. Riley Gomes, Tom Sears, last pitted. They pitted under before the first green-white checkered attempt. Both pitted 92-93 along with Stefan Oberstedt. They are good to go on fuel. No concerns. Then you have Zach Millet, Brandon Proudfoot. Alfred George came in on 84. Proudfoot came in on 79. Millet came in on 83. They came out before we even got these, under green flag conditions. Speaking of, Ryan Gomes in the 55, came in on 79. After that, everyone else has come in at some point tonight. Michael Joy, 96. Wygett, 96. Christian Withers, 96. Then you got Sharp all the way down. Pretty much the rest of the pack came in on a combination of 100 to 104. So the lead looks like this. Proudfoot, Millet will be front row. Do they have enough in the tank? Gomes, Sears, second row. Actually, that's going to be Gomes and George second row as George has to pick up. Gomes is good on fuel. Alfred George could be a bit of a question mark. Sears will be next, along with Stefan Oberstedt. They're good on fuel. Wygett, LaJoy next, so on and so forth. So we'll see how this all plays. Remember, bracket challenge rules are in effect for the new ones tuning in that are not following along. This is going to be interesting. By the way, I can confirm we will not have any interviews at the end of this race. So when this race goes to conclusion, we will go to the results and we will get on out of here because I do have to skedaddle. So we'll try to get interviews maybe next week with them, whatever, but we have to finish this race. We'll bring it to the finish. I can confirm for you. Millet on control here. Pace car is off. Will we see a finish? Green flag is out, and away we go. Millet, clear at the moment. Proudfoot, Alfred George, Tom Sears hard in the wall. And that's another caution. Bunch of other cars involved as well. I'm sorry, kind of in a rush here, and they bottle it up again. But anyway, we'll keep going here. Millet, Proudfoot, now question the cards concerns for fuel. We'll take a look exactly what happened there between Tom Sears and Alfred George. We'll pull it up on the replay. You already see Tom Sears already wrong way around. We'll pull it back here. Feeling it was a bad line change situation. Looks like it's play it at the chopper camera. Looks like Alfred George and Stefan Oberstadt got together. Play it at 4th speed. Alfred George, yep, Oberstadt got low. Alfred George happened to be there. Kind of got the blows right in the Sears. And at that point caused a catastrophe that sent Sears hard into the outside wall with Alfred George to follow. And then we'll play it at full speed. Think Kenneth Chaney, if someone else gets followed. Yep, Ross Baxter gets hooked there by Davey Hawk with a bad bump into the outside wall himself. So back to live action. That looks like it junked Tom Sears. Tom Sears looks like his day is now officially done. He's going to come down here and try to get it fixed up. Seth Wansing in the pit lane, too, with a long repair clock, too. He's come back in again. Ross Baxter will tough it out. As it looks like, I'm just trying to see if anyone else. Alfred George looks like he's still going. He's down here in 20th. He'll come down and pit one more time. So anyway, we'll keep it going. There's Alfred George, obviously. Alfred George. If I said Alfred, my mistake. It's Alfred George. As there's Zach Millett and Brandon Proudfoot. 1-2. Another attempt at a green-white checkered. Again, fuel concerns for Millett and Proudfoot. There's Brian Rupert getting a lap back. As we'll be going green, not this time by, but we'll get the one to go this time by, and we'll go green the following time. Can Millett, again, there is the fuel concerns. Millett, Proudfoot, again, came in 83, 79 respectively. Rest of the field has come in at 96. They topped off long ago. They're all good to go. The only concern is our top two. Do they have the fuel? All right, we're going to get bunched up here. It's going to be Millett, Proudfoot, Wygant, Gomes, Sharp, LaJoy, Wright, Feemster, Withers, Pinnell, your top 10. We'll see. Again, concerns of fuel with Proudfoot and Millett. Again, just to reiterate, there'll be no post-race interviews. Once we see the checker flag, whenever that may be, we are going to checker flag. We'll see the winner. We'll go with the results, and we're going to have to get on out of here. So Sorry for whoever finishes on the podium, but no interviews will be conducted due to a time constraint. But we will bring you the finish, no matter how many attempts it takes. So we'll see what Proudfoot and Millet can do. Again, Millet won last week at Texas. Proudfoot looking for this first win this season in a points-paying capacitation. Pacey Wygant back up. We know he's got a strong car. Gomes trying to fill in for Emma Kruger. Can he get a win? Riley Gomes, Sharp there. Obviously a battle in the playoff bracket between Gomes and Sharp. They're side by side. Briley Wright, the birthday boy, in the top 10, along with Mike LaJoy. Along with Kevin Feemster and Christian Withers. Ryan Pinnell could be sneaky fast. So we'll see how this all plays. Pace car is off. Sharp has a bit of a blink. Green flag is out, and away we go. Proudfoot getting pushed clear by Wygant. And we got some hungry drivers. We'll see if they can keep it clean here. Briley Wright going very low there. Gonna take evasive action. You can see him move to the high side. Mike LaJoy put himself in position. Millet gonna try to block off Feemster. Proudfoot gonna go low. Wygant in the middle. 3 wide here. Keeping it close. White Proudfoot gonna touch here with Feemster pushing clear. Still touching. Pinnell, Proudfoot, they touch hard here as we're gonna take the white flag in this race. White flag brought to you by Smeal Racing Designs. LaJoy leads the way. Contact in the back. Race will be official. Cars around. Ryan Gomes, bunch other around the back. You can see chaos there. David Wright, Brandon Featherplace, all involved. We'll stay to the front here. More cars involved. Wright, Gomes, few others. Cars all the way. It's LaJoy and Millet getting pushed clear of the action. Markowski in third with Wygant in tow. Proudfoot in fifth. We'll see if they're going to be far enough ahead, or can Markowski and Proudfoot catch. LaJoy looking for the first win. Can Millet do something here as they come off the last corner? Just a tri-oval to go. LaJoy trying to play defensive. You can see on the high side, going to try to make a move, spinning in the back, cross the line. Millet going to pull the rug out, and he will win this race. LaJoy second, Markowski third. They wreck across the line with Chaney fourth, Proudfoot fifth, Withers sixth, Wygant seventh, Battles eighth, Michelle ninth, and Stefan Oberstadt 10th. Very chaotic finish, to say the least. As Mike LaJoy tried what he could, but no help, really no protection, was a sitting duck. Similar to McMurray and Harvick, I want to say McMurray and Burton back in 2011. I think it was Harvick. Just a bit too much of a push there. Got clear and just a sitting duck, to say the least. But Zach Millet goes back to back with his race wins, as we'll see him get ready to burn it down here. But great runs by LaJoy and Markowski's, as they will also both advance in the bracket challenge here. As we'll quickly just run over that real fast as we see Millet burn it down. Mike LaJoy was battling Mark DeLella, he'll advance, and Markowski was battling Tom Sears. Obviously, Tom Sears' last incident there, pulling behind the wall. Markowski will advance and get a podium for his trouble. So as Zach Millet burns it down here, we are going to take a quick look. We'll zoom in on him, show him off for all his glory. He'll be joined by Mike LaJoy here, both Bandit Racing teammates now both under the same banner. Now, what used to be Next Gen Racing, now Bandit Racing, both will celebrate together here, all very happily indeed, as they will burn it down together here in celebration. And they'll also be joined by Briley Wright, who's also teammates, well, technically filling in for that ride as well. So he will join the fray here too in the teammate celebration, as they officially have burned it down. Again, 1-2 for Bandit. Now Bandit used to be next gen. Now Bandit definitely going to be quite happy indeed. So, as we'll take this opportunity as we see the celebration finish up here, we'll take a quick look at the finishing results here because, again, sadly, there will be not any interviews tonight as, again, on a bit of a time crunch, they will be officially removed here. So, again, apologies to all, but sometimes that happens with just time crunches and what have you. So, anyway, we'll take a quick look at the final results here, if I can pull them up. There we go. We'll pull up the final results here, show you where everyone finished. Zach Millett takes the win here with Mike LaJoy in tow. They finished 1-2. Dale Markowski third. He'll round out the podium. Kenneth Cheney and Brandon Proudfoot will make the top 5. Christian Withers, Pacey Wygett 6th, 7th, with Battles, Michelle, and Stefan Overstat, your top 10. Austin Mongold, Lily Peltier-Sharp, Donna Ray, David Wright, and Kevin Feemster, your top 15. Baxter, Pinnell, Thompson, Delela, Catania, your top 20. A lot of these cars are involved in the last lap chaos. Next up, you got Wright, Hawk, Mulkey, Estes, top 25. Hagan, Gomes, Brian Gomes, and Riley Gomes, 27th, 28th. Brandon Featherplace, 29th. Bren Roberts, top 30. Now you're getting the cars that could not finish with Featherplace and Roberts involved in the last incident. Then Alfred George, Brian Rupert, Catania, Kerr, Sears, Patrick Overstat, Josh Gaiman, Jonathan Adams, and Jeremy Breo, your top 40, with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence not taking the finish in 41st, not taking the flag, I should say, as he had connection issues. But that will do it for that. Obviously, keep an eye on the A Squared socials, along with ABN 1, ABN 2. All this information follows in the description, what have you. You can follow on ABN. Obviously, try to get us 200 followers. It's been a great time indeed if we can get to the push over that line. A Squared competition will take place next week. They will be at Dover as the bracket challenge continues on, and more drivers try to challenge to get a win. And we'll see if anyone can stop the momentum right now of Zach Millett and maybe bring a victory to challenge to him and this competition. But until then, again, so apologies for no interviews, but I really got to get going here, get time crunch, so apologies. But anyway, thank you for joining us at ABN2. I'm Kevin Young, signing off, so thank you, and have a good rest of your evening.